Sounds like a horn honking out there. Not me. I was listening to somebody talk about the song Semi-Charmed Kind of Life, Third Eye Blind. They were like, it's such an upbeat song. I was like, until you listen to the words, and it's like the most horrific song of all time. But yes, outside of words, it's a very upbeat song.
Mm-hmm.
The music is upbeat.
Music is, it's very upbeat.
Maybe some instrumental would be cool.
I'm okay with the words. It's just, it's not exactly the, song you sing to your kids late at night.
So we'll do our little housework stuff, and then we'll introduce you.
Okay.
Just like on the agenda.
What kind of introduction do you need from me?
No, we'll just introduce you. Say, welcome, Drew McCollum. to the
Okay,
show.
great.
We won't ask for a bio or anything.
Yeah. Here's my resume.
Yeah.
At age 12, he became a lover of Tangy Taffy. Nobody knew what was going to be next.
That's right.
I wish I could remember age of 12.
I wish I could remember where to freaking buy some Tangy Taffy now that I'm thinking about it.
I've never had that.
I never heard of it.
Absolutely not.
So not that gross saltwater taffy that nobody ever wants. There used to be stuff that you bought at the baseball games and stuff, and it was like, okay, Tangy Taffy.
A buddy of mine wrote that down. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Miller's Ale House. It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for Three Guys Who Love Sports. Happy to have you here. My name is Chuck Burge, along with my co-host, Mr. Robert Kenny. Robert, how are you, buddy?
If I was any better, I'd be Larry.
If I was any better, I'd be you. And if Larry was any better, he'd be his wife.
Well, that's true. That's a slightly different story, but we'd all be a little better if we
Absolutely,
got to,
yeah. So this show is to help guys that are going through some mental and physical issues, to help get them through it for an hour every week. And if we help for an hour, and you help for an hour, and Robert helps for an hour, and Larry and all his friends, then this world will be a better place and be a great
Larry
thing.
and all his friends.
All five of them.
All those degenerates Larry hangs out with.
Well, the bad news about that is I hang out with the same degenerates.
You are the number one degenerate on Larry's
Thank you.
list.
Yeah. So, as always, we're here at Miller's Ale House, where it's a very, very warm Wednesday. But fall is coming, football is coming, all the good things that come with that. So we're just around the corner from that. What'd you get to eat tonight, Robert?
I went with the
A Sean recommendation.
Sean recommendation. It's a little chicken. It's a little ribs. Got a little spicy peach sauce on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did the Philly cheesesteak. I hadn't been.
That
I think I've
seems-
only done that once in
That
3
seems
years.
way too normal for you.
I know it, isn't it? How about you, Larry?
I went with the chicken fajitas tonight.
Chicken fajitas.
Can't go wrong with that.
A wide variety of food we're having here
We're,
tonight.
we're keeping the kitchen honest.
There you go. All right, so for the first time tonight, we have a guest, Mr. Drew McCollum. Everybody welcome Drew. Listen to that
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here. And you're glad to have me, apparently.
crowd. Absolutely. Glad to have you. That's really cool. So we're here to talk sports, so let's get into it. Saddest news of the week, Ryan Sandberg biting the dust. He was to the Cubs in the 80s what Ernie Banks was in the 60s and early 70s.
He was. He was definitely, as far as old school guys, and he actually started with the Phillies.
Yep.
He only played, a few games for the Phillies in 1981.
That's right.
So,
Ivan de Jesus.
so he's although we look at him as one of those guys who never changed teams. Technically, he changed teams before he even got his toes wet. But he stayed with him the whole time, and
Very revered in the city of Chicago.
oh yeah. Well, he actually wore 23 before the other guy in town. So
Yep. And other than his few days with the Phillies, he spent his entire career with the Cubs.
yeah, he only had 6 plate appearances
With the Phillies?
with the Phillies. So
Cup of coffee.
yeah,
Cup of coffee. That's
didn't
right.
even get his toes wet.
Yeah. So
But I just want to throw out there in 1984 he did win the MVP. And
that was the year of his game, right?
What, his best?
Well, like they won 12-11. He had like 8 or 9 of the RBIs and something like that.
Do what?
Ryan Sandberg.
About 1984?
One game.
Oh, in one game.
In
I
one
gotcha,
game,
I gotcha. Well, he won the MVP that year. And question for you, how many triples did he hit that year?
0.
No.
A bunch.
A bunch.
That was my second guess.
It was either 0 or a bunch. Any guesses on how many?
I was born 10 years later, so I have no idea.
Well, right. Sandberg was never revered as a huge stolen base guy. And as it turns out, he did steal 344 bases, so he was, but 19 triples.
Wow. One season, that's pretty tough.
One season, there's very few seasons that have ever had a total like that. So very impressive.
And back in that day, there were no lights at Wrigley Field. Every game was during the day.
Although I can tell you, one of the worst crap trivia stats ever was what was the last stadium to get lights? And it's
not Wrigley
It's
Field.
not Wrigley because they bought the lights in 1938. They just never put them up. So they were, I was like, oh, that's kind of a crazy question. But yeah, back when it had to be a day game on WGN.
With Harry Carey.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I got to go to 2 games at Wrigley Field, and it was a really cool experience. Fortunately, I got to go to Boston and to Fenway in the same 2-week period for the first time going to both of them. It was incredible. And I thought Fenway was heaven until I got to Wrigley.
Is there any that you haven't been to that you still want to go to?
No, because I'm not a huge baseball fan. But plenty of football stadiums I want to go to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Speaking of football, we talk about Ryan Sandberg because he died of prostate cancer, and that's kind of what started our show, is my friend with prostate cancer. And now we also have Dion, Coach Prime, beating cancer. Just came out. When I heard he was going to have a press conference at 12, I thought it was to announce that he was sick and he had cancer and he was retiring. But he said, nope, already been through the surgery, already been great, and I'm ready to coach.
Hey, there's a guy who hit it pretty well.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and what is shocking in the day of social media, how can you hide anything? Because
especially
everything's out there.
No,
Yeah.
especially for that program. He does a lot of social media work on there, and he's very in the news and in the media. So it's really impressive for him.
But if you have a girlfriend who's working the counter at the
The bar at Miller's Ale House.
well, no, I was thinking more along the lines of the oncology wing
that.
of the hospital. Somebody's like, check it out, Coach Prime.
He's not someone that goes anywhere subtly.
Yeah.
He's not subtle when he enters the room.
Everybody knows everybody knows this man, right?
So yeah, congratulations to him. I know, crazy life.
And I hate to tell you that you're going to get your butt kicked your first football game. So here comes August 29th, and my Yellow Jackets are rolling into town to take care of the Buffaloes.
I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, and me too. And actually, I'm going to get to watch it. I was blown away because typically the concerts on the square are the last Friday night. But because it's Labor Day weekend, they're moving the concert up to the 22nd.
Great.
So I'll be at home on the 29th to flip back and forth between Kennesaw State and Wake Forest and Georgia Tech and Colorado.
That
So
sounds
it'll,
like a good night.
It is on that Friday.
yeah, they're both on that Friday night. Yeah, the 29th. So looking forward to that. Coach Prime, God bless you. Glad you're all right. I hope it stays that way because a lot of people get it and then 3 months later it's back.
It can come back.
Yeah. So good prayers for Coach Prime.
Live each day the best you can.
Yeah, but just like he beat cancer, Braves ain't beating nobody. And I mean nobody. They just lost the game in the 10th inning. The Royals had runners on first and third with nobody out.
The Braves had.
Would you let me finish? Braves had runners on first and third with nobody out and 2 strikeouts and a line out later. And then the Royals came up and the first guy hit a 2-run dinger, 2-0 Royals. The Braves have only won one series since the All-Star break. And I think they only won one in June, too. They won they swept the Mets for 3 games in June.
Swept the Mets, and then I think we beat the Cardinals.
2 out of 3 in Atlanta, right?
And I was looking at something because when we beat the Cardinals, we won the first 2 games of that series. So technically, we had already won the series before we coughed it up in the 3rd game and didn't beat them. But it's crazy how many times the third game has actually meant something as far as who wins the series. You know, where
Just
it's
like the Orioles.
1-1 going into the third game, 1-1 going into the third game. Lose, 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 lose. Pretty crazy.
And now they are 17 games under 500, I believe that's correct.
They are not good.
It's a brutal year.
I think last time I looked, the Nationals were only a game and a half behind the Braves. And after that, it's only Pittsburgh and Colorado, right?
Like I told you, they're going for Arch Manning.
Yep, going for that top run. So I think the trade deadline's tomorrow in it.
Correct.
So we'll see if we still have an Ozuna come wake up tomorrow. Or the Braves, do they play tomorrow? Are they off on Thursday this week? Or I don't know.
That's a good question. You know, Ozuna has done everything a trading team could want, to see. He's picked it up in the last week to kind of give you an idea that, hey, maybe you should trade away part of your future for me because I am good. Yeah, they're at the Reds.
At the Reds.
Yes, that one's at the Reds.
And then later in the week, is it Saturday?
Saturdays,
They
yeah.
play at
Bristol.
Bristol.
How about that?
Yeah, you know what? That is the first professional baseball game ever played in the state of Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that would be kind of fun to go to.
Oh, it'd be incredible to go to.
It'd be really good to go to if both teams were good.
Well, you know, they have a concert before it that's Pitbull and Tim McGraw, and that's before the game. And then I was looking at tickets, and there's a ton of tickets available. Now, you're so far away, because
You're back on the NHRA track.
They've already set records of the number of tickets sold.
Correct, but they still have tons to sell because it's
that's
just,
so
it
big.
goes,
It's like
Yeah.
it goes
75,000
forever.
people, isn't it? Something like that. It's pretty massive.
But it's crazy, it's $20 a ticket, right up there on a Saturday, $20 later. Hey, were you there? I was there.
Yeah.
Could you see? No, I couldn't see. I had no idea what
For
was
the
going on.
experience, though.
I thought it was a lacrosse game. I was so far away.
I've been to Bristol for the NHRA races, which is on the strip behind the track, but I've never been inside the track. That would be cool.
I like the town with
Yeah.
the stripe going down
Yeah.
the middle of the town and stuff.
Yeah.
This side of the middle of the road is Virginia.
Tennessee.
This is
Tennessee.
I like it.
Yeah, very cool place. I was thinking it was next Saturday, but it is this Saturday.
It is this
That's wild.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I was thinking about dragging my daughter up there, except for she's got to start school on Monday. That's probably not the best thing to do.
She starts school on Monday, 9th grade?
10th.
10th. Wow. How time flies.
How it flies.
Yeah. So, and what else is going on? Christian Wilkins got traded. Or is it to Tampa Bay he got traded to? From the Raiders?
I don't know.
I thought they just cut him.
That's right. They just cut him. And he kissed one of his teammates goodbye, and his teammate got all upset about it.
Do you know what his teammate did, though, apparently? Filed an HR complaint.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
So picture this. We're in an NFL locker room or meeting room or whatever, and we've got two giant men. One of them kisses the other, and the other one says, I'm going to file an HR complaint against you.
But it's really ironically funny when you think about how many horrible things those large men have done in that
To
same
each other.
These are violent men. I mean, these guys hit each other for a living.
No, and I apologize. I was looking at it from more to like, hey, Toots, hey, broad, come over here. For 50 or 60 years, that room has been nothing but whatever. And then all of a sudden, a guy gives you, hey, I'm following HR. This is not
called HR.
This is not proper.
That's right.
It's like, really? You should have gone to jail
Surprised how
20
it
years
went
ago
down,
for something.
I'm just surprised.
Would you have an issue if you were in the locker room and some guy kissed you on the cheek or on the head?
Sure.
Would you?
But I wouldn't file an
Would
HR
you file an HR
complaint.
complaint?
I mean, I've seen other things that have happened in the locker room. Actually, as a matter of fact, I watched Remember the Titans just recently. I don't know if you guys remember California.
Yeah.
That came in there and actually kissed Gary Bertier.
Yeah.
There was a fight that ensued.
Yeah.
They didn't file an HR complaint.
Yeah.
No, and I'm okay. I mean, somebody wants, once again, if it's a forehead or a cheek or something, somebody's doing it as a photo op. Now, if
Don't come at my lips.
If somebody tries to dip me down, I might have some issues with that. I'm not going to swoon for you, but outside that, I don't really care.
I thought it was kind of, again, media is so crazy. They'll cover anything now. Anything. And if Christian Wilkins wants to give this guy a kiss on the head, I guess he should have asked him first. I don't know. But I wouldn't have an issue with it. I'm that kind of guy. So my poker buddies, I've been playing poker with them for 40 years. They used to call me touchy-feely, touchy-feely. But now they know when I walk
I think they still do.
Well, when I walk in the room, they know they're going to get a hug, and now most of them hug me first, so it's okay. I don't have any problem with that emotion, so it's kind of cool, but I just thought it was silly, something silly to cover when there's so much more crap going on in the world. They're going to cover Christian Wilson kissing a guy on the head.
But, you know, because of gayness in the locker room, you know, the media's been looking for this one for a long time. There was the kid who was defensive player of the year a few years ago, played for Missouri, and you know, he didn't even make a team, which always it's like, really? He's not one of the best 480 people at his position, you know, but that's a real thing. So, you know, even though it sounds like that clearly wasn't the case with this one, the media's just going to jump all over it.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, everything, media, and we'll talk more about that in our next segment. Let's go ahead and get our commercials done, Robert.
Joshua Smith and his wife Tammy are both graduates of Kennesaw State College. He's been practicing law for 24 years, specializing in sports and entertainment law while continuing in criminal defense, civil litigation, juvenile and personal injury law. And he's ready to represent you all the way from your small town to the Supreme Court and any appellate court in between. With all the new rules regarding NIL and cash payments to athletes, they're placing a new emphasis on Kennesaw State University student athletics to help student athletes better navigate some of the bigger issues that have tripped up so many. Give them a call tomorrow at 706-217-2095.
What number was that?
The big one on the screen, Chuck. 706-210-95.
And we thank you, Joshua Smith, for being a sponsor of the Three Guys Who Love Sports. There are a lot of places to get your oil change in the Kennesaw area, but if you're looking for a personal experience, then stop in at Castrol Kennesaw Express Lube or Lost Mountain Express Lube. We'll always do our very best to get you in and out quickly, safely, and without a whole lot of fuss. We're a true owner-operated business where you'll find Brian under a car or a hood at one of the shops. We offer experienced, knowledgeable technicians and the latest computer software to help you maintain your new car warranty and keep your pride and joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer
Castrol products.
And we thank you, Brian Russo, for being a sponsor of the Three Guys Who Love Sports.
You notice Larry's getting involved nowadays.
Yeah, he's kind of taking over for Kroc, Adam Kroc, that left us.
A crock.
All right. Next subject we're going to talk about is some sports betting. And I want to ask Robert, what's the first bet you ever placed? Do you remember?
You're talking about like a real wager?
Yeah.
I do not. I'll tell you a couple of the dumbest ones I ever did.
Oh, we'll get to that. My brother came to me. My first job out of college. He said, "You got to put $50 on Clemson this weekend."
It's a lock.
It's a lock. They're like 3 points favored over Georgia, or they're underdogs. I don't remember, but I have never sweat so much during a football game in my whole life as I did that game. I wound up winning the $50, but. Man, I couldn't take the stress. That was horrible.
I used to bet with a bookie, and I stopped. And then I think I started betting with another bookie, and then I stopped. And then I went one year. I had a buddy who was working at a golf course and had a bookie. And I can remember looking at the AFC and NFC, the All-Star game, the Pro Bowl. And the rosters were just crazy because, you know, if you know, the San Francisco 49ers are in it, none of those players make the thing. So whatever it was a very crazy looking roster where clearly one of the two teams was way better. So I put $50 on it. I was like, this is the dumbest thing. I can't even believe they put this as a spread. And I was winning that game like 35-3. And I lost that game. And that spiraled me into betting college basketball like a fiend for oh my goodness. Horrible stuff.
How about you, Drew? Are you a gambling guy?
I am not.
Good for you.
How about your dad?
Nope, he is not either. Nope.
So your gambling is restricted to fantasy football.
Fantasy football and my own golf game. I will bet on my own golf game, but I have a little control over that. I find myself regretting it most times.
But you do bet.
I still do it.
I played with some buddies not too long ago, and they do this thing where it's the animals. So like the last person to hit it in the water gets the frog, and the last person who hits it in the woods gets the monkey. And then, if you have the monkey at the end of the round, if you hit it in the woods on 12 and you're praying one of us does to take you off the hook. But yeah, it was crazy watching me the last 3 holes and how I just started accumulating animals and everything. It's like, what is going on here?
So, like, if you had the monkey at the end of the game, you had to buy a round or whatever?
Buy $5, $5, $5.
Oh, okay.
And then he hit the water, so that's $5, $5, $5. So, yeah.
Hopefully it all balances out, right?
How many animals did you have at the end of that round?
I had all 4.
They
I had all 4 animals.
They call Robert the zoo
That is apropos and correct.
at the end of the show. That's funny. Well, do you know what the first prop bet was? I did some research on this. Do you know when it was? Super Bowl 20. This is where the prop bet was born.
Super Bowl 20, so
What
that would
would-
have been like 86.
85.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 1 to 75.
Sure.
Yeah. So you know what the first prop bet was?
Um,
Who won that year should give you a big
the
clue.
Super Bowl shuffle.
No. Will Refrigerator Perry score a touchdown? It was 2001, and some nuts were lucky enough to put down $10 on the fridge scoring a touchdown, and he actually scored 2.
Oh, that year I was in New Orleans, and I remember we had one guy that had 56 different bets that all expired by the end of the first quarter.
Oh, yeah? How did he do on those?
I have no idea. I just remember, but that was the first year of the prop bet.
That's a lot of bets.
Yeah, he took full advantage of it.
Yeah, it's really funny. I did some research because you can bet on anything now. I mean, anything. The color of the Gatorade that's getting dunked on the coach, how long the national anthem is going to be. Is it going to be over or under a minute 58 seconds? But I found what I thought were some really weird prop bets. You ever heard of Amarillo Slim?
No.
Amarillo Slim?
Yeah.
Nope.
Card player back in the 70s. He came up with some of his own prop bets. He played tennis against Bobby Riggs, but Amarillo's key was he got to pick what you played with. They played with a skillet. And he beat Bobby Riggs.
Well, Bobby Riggs was very demoralized after Billie Jean took him down. So
Oh, yeah. And Amarillo Slim did not stop there. He played Evel Knievel in golf. And again, he got to choose the equipment. They used a hammer. So they played golf with a hammer.
they played one hole.
Yeah.
How long? We've been here for 9 hours.
Like
I
Robin,
suck
like
at
Robin
this.
Williams on his.
This is horrible.
And yet Amarillo still wasn't done. And this is my favorite. He placed a bet against Seabiscuit to race Seabiscuit. And the race
course.
and the race was 100 yards. But the secret was it was 50 yards down.
Seabiscuit had died 50 years earlier. was the key.
No, it was 50 yards down and 50 yards back.
So the horse had to turn around.
So the horse had to turn around. And the jockey had a hard time getting him to turn around. And he said he couldn't catch up with him. By the time Amarillo Slim crossed the line, he didn't have as much turnaround as Seabiscuit.
I like this slim guy.
Yeah, he seemed my kind of guy. So, yeah, and I know I've told this story on the show before. I know Drew hasn't heard it. But Willie Stargell used to do the same thing in spring training. Do you know who he is?
Yes.
Okay, you're a kid. I didn't know.
Yeah,
So
that one I've got.
Willie Stargell used to bet the fastest rookie. He said, we're going to both start at first base. He said, I'll bet you $500 that we'll run the bases. You go the regular route, and I'll run the opposite way for $500. He said, okay. He said, I'll race you for $5. He said, okay, let's go. So obviously Willie's running as fast as he can, but he's laughing. The guy's already around second where Willie's not even there. And he gets to home plate, and Willie says, pay up. He said, what do you mean pay up? I beat you. I said, I didn't say anything about beating you. I just said I'd race you for $500.
Never said anything about beating you.
So Amarillo Slim, I don't know if he learned from Willie or Willie learned from Amarillo, but that was a pretty good thing. But we talk about prop bets sometime Super Bowl week. Robert's looking up something. Right?
I was. You said the Fridge scored 2 touchdowns, and I knew it was one. But
It
I'm
was
just.
one. He scored 2 in the season. He caught a touchdown pass.
You know, the only reason why that was a good bet is because Dick was such a moron. Peyton had 22 carries for 61 yards.
And no TDs.
And no TDs. William the Refrigerator Perry, 1 carry, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. So, Fat Boy gets a touchdown, which, by the way, if you put him on a normal roster nowadays, he wouldn't even look fat. He was just that crazy.
He
then,
could be
but,
the kicker.
he's a pretty small guy. But, I hate Ditka.
Did you?
I did. Yeah,
Bill Sterrett, we're not talking to you about that.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Sterrett would agree with me. Hey, who should get it? Fat Boy or the greatest running back of all time, Bill? I'll go Sweetness.
You sound a little bit like Bill when you did that.
Thank you.
So you've never placed a bet at all?
No,
Yeah.
never have. Never in my life.
Do you
I
feel-
have now watched a grown man cry at the halftime or at the coin toss of the Super Bowl.
Which is something else you can bet on.
50-50 bet. You can bet on the coin toss, and he lost some
I once said, well, actually, I say once. I did a long time ago with a bookie. This year I did it with my friend, and we each took like 20 different bets. And length of the national anthem, coin toss, first number to score, is it an odd or even? Is it a pass or a run? I mean, so many variables. And like you said, you get to the end of the game, what kind of Gatorade gets dumped on their head? What color?
Yeah.
So many fun ones.
And it's not just sports. You can bet on anything. I saw a site today, I don't know if it was, you could bet on whether or not it's going to snow in London on Christmas Day.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
As long as it's put out far enough to where, because those the European models, as they like to call it, they run about 2 weeks early, so they won't let you bet on that, as of December 10th. But you want to put your money on it? Heck yeah.
yeah. And, the reason I brought this all up was the guy that was banned, or he wasn't banned, but he was suspended with pay till the end of the year, that was throwing a ball on the first pitch and betting on himself that he was going to throw a ball, or he gave somebody information that he was going to throw a ball on the first pitch
in a live game.
In a live game,
See, that's what I worry about though with sports betting is does it affect the integrity of the game?
Yeah,
Which it does, which is
concern me.
why Pete Rose should have never been pardoned or anything else. That's nothing but
yeah. So
Yeah, I know what you're referring
Slippery
to.
slope.
There were 2 different cases.
yeah,
But it was,
and both in the last couple of weeks.
yeah.
Yeah, but one of the guys
But it
was just, and I mean, it wasn't like he was throwing him on the corner. He was throwing him like 6 feet short of the plate
Well, I don't
and
want-
2 feet outside.
sometimes you get Eric Gregg or one of those types of umpire. You never know.
Bounced across.
You
Yeah, that's
better
right.
you better put it 4 feet outside if you want to get that
How
call.
funny
But
is
the
the
re-
umpire happened to be in it, right? And the umpire just
You
calls
never
it a
know.
strike.
The reason he got caught
take that
was because of the traction on the betting. It had nothing to do with the actual pitch. It was the actual. There were so many bets put on that particular prop bet that he got busted.
Well, and
for.
that happened. Remember a couple years ago with the Reds. It was a Cincinnati Reds guy, and it was a LSU connection. And the guy had placed the bet like right, outside the stadium. We'd like to put, $100,000. Okay, well, that's the most anybody's ever put on something like this. So we're thinking you might be a little crooked.
And the NFL's all for betting, but mainstream betting. They're not on this. Like me and my buddies used to go to the Braves games when they were at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and we'd bet a nickel if we predicted what the next batter did. Was he going to strike out? Was he going to single to the left? Was he going to fly out to right? Whatever. And that's how precise it's gotten now. It's every pitch. It's not every game.
Well, and ESPN has their own betting format and thing that I don't personally like that at all. The reason why is I want ESPN to give me facts. I want them to give me. You can give me your thoughts on some stuff, but as soon as I know that you're making money off of Larry's bet, then I have to wonder what you're telling me prior to that, if that is feeding into, instead of just telling me what I need to know about the game, you're leading me down a pathway to try to make me think, man, this guy is going to throw 2 wild pitches tonight. I don't need you to help me with that. So, I don't like that at all.
I don't either. But soon it's coming to your phone. You can play every pitch, every down. Will the left tackle miss his block on this play? Or it's crazy. And it's
become very competitive.
Yeah.
There's company after company offering it.
Yeah. No, you see it commercials, ads on TV. You see it on ESPN. There's a whole station, ESPN Bet now. That
Oh yeah, the commercial where the
was
guy
in-
goes, "Wouldn't it be cool if it was like this?" You just described ESPN betting.
That's right. Yeah, I've gotten frustrated with the way that the betting industry has entered into our mainstream sports lives,
And-
especially as someone who doesn't bet. I'm a little bit contrarian on that, right?
Sure. No.
But it's become frustrating with the way that's entered into the media coverage.
Well, and because they're pushing the bets on everybody, are we supposed to act surprised when somebody gets caught throwing the ball
No.
4 feet outside when
Absolutely
they
not.
place that bet?
What'd you
know,
expect?
Exactly. That's the avenue that you've paved for all these people.
Yeah.
So, do you guys know of Black Sunday? It's one of my favorite stories to talk about.
You've told us before, but
So 1979 Super Bowl, Steelers, Cowboys. There was only 1 week. You didn't have an off week for that second week or any of that
You
stuff.
didn't have the media week and
You
everything?
didn't have the media week. Yeah. Back before you were born, they just played football. And so,
and no megastar at halftime.
so in that particular game, it started out as Steelers plus 4.5. And it was 4.5 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It went to 4 on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, the bet was 3.5. The line was 3.5. The crazy thing is that an inordinate amount of people made those bets. Everybody who bet on the 4.5 took the Cowboys. Everybody who bet on the weekend with the 3.5 took the Steelers. And it was a 35-31 final. The one guy, Lefty Rosenthal, he was at the Stardust. He actually offered 4.5 points for any Cowboys fans, 3.5 for any. So he lost every bet.
Wow.
And Black Sunday basically bankrupted about 20 of the casinos, and he consolidated it down to I believe they call themselves the Big Seven. There was only 7 casinos that were able to pay everybody their money after that one, and it's crazy. But that's the reason why also when you look at a spread, it won't move too much. Even if it's a horrible spread that I put out, you still don't want it to be. You don't want to move it because too many things can happen when that happens.
No doubt about it.
It can get cumbersome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's cumbersome.
Somebody played the jukebox. Huh?
Yeah, it's cumbersome.
Yeah. All right. Sports betting is so interesting for those of us that follow it closely or semi-closely. Not for Drew, and I understand. I wish I was more like Drew, but my poker game and my tub game and all that stuff. But I'm not a big. I'm going to go out and bet 50 on the Falcons this weekend. So.
Well, that's why you still have power on at your house, Chuck.
Yeah, barely. Yeah. All right. So let's get a Brain Train commercial out of the way. We'll move on to some football.
Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, memory, or other mood issues? Or maybe you just want to achieve more in high-pressure situations. Well, what if I told you you can unlock your brain's full potential and change your life entirely through neurofeedback? A drug-free and natural approach to negative moods, and it's backed by more than 50 years of research, so it's not new. It is safe for both children and adults as you retrain the brain to create new pathways. Medication may help short-term, but they don't address the underlying issues. Just as push-ups help your physical strength, neurofeedback is personal training for your brain. With over 20 offices nationwide, don't hesitate to reach out to Brain Train Centers, as we will provide you with the highest level of compassionate care and help you achieve the mental clarity, performance, and calm you deserve. Your journey to a better quality of life starts with a brain map. Now you can retrain your brain and reset your life. So just call or text 470-291-2778 or visit BrainTrainCentersInc.com.
And we're back. Thank you, Melissa Hergert, for being a sponsor of the Three Guys Who Love Sports. And don't forget to come out tonight at 7 o'clock for a very interesting KSU Owl show. I wonder what's going to happen, Robert.
I'm probably going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That'll be different. All right. So it's football time. Smell it in the air. It's actually, we're going to have a night this weekend in the 60s and the high in the 70s. And, man, that's just the beginning of things. I know it's not going to stay that way, but that'll be a fun, fun day. Look at Sean going straight to the weather.
What? What's the temperature?
I think it's Sunday. It's supposed to be in the 70s or something like that. It was 75 on Sunday earlier, but I think it's crazy. Saturday and Sunday. Yeah.
30 days away from college football.
30 days away. That's hard to believe.
I just checked your little site there, Tom Brumbelow. Thank you for letting me know.
So there's a game on the 29th. That's right. Yeah, because 31st is 30 days from Arioki. I keep getting mixed up. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're 31 from Marietta.
All right. So we talked a little bit last week about who's on top now, the Big Ten and the SEC. So let's talk this week about how many teams within those divisions actually have a chance to win the conference.
Well, and let's start with Drew and ask Drew, who's your team?
Oh man, that's a loaded question.
How many teams we got? I already noticed you knew a lot about this picture over here. So
I'll give you a little bit about my background. My
Please.
dad's a college football coach. He's at the University of Sewanee right now. That picture.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, Andy. That picture from Georgia
That's
Tech.
Dad to you.
That's Dad. Yeah, that's actually Coach to me.
Okay, that's
yeah,
good.
Yeah. So he's at Sewanee now. He was at Georgia Tech. He's at the Baylor Bears. He was the head coach at Middle Tennessee State. So
And they have a great quarterback at Marietta High School. And I also know some stories about Andy being stuck at the Crystal. I won't tell it on the air, Andy, but you know what story I'm talking about. And I know you know what story I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's got some stories. So a team to define for me is really tough. So I've been around a lot of different teams. I tried to pull for the Bulldogs, but when you spend 8 years at Georgia Tech, become disinterested in the Georgia Bulldogs.
Now you know why he's on my show.
But my wife is from Statesboro, so I've gotten really attached to Georgia Southern lately. That's kind of my
fun school.
That's a fun
That's
school.
where I went to school.
They've got a great program. They're really doing pretty well right now. Their games are a blast. We go down to one a year, and I know a couple of their coaches.
You know, I've never been to a game at Georgia
Oh,
Southern.
you
They
should.
started a year and a half after I graduated.
Okay.
And but I've never been to a game at Paulson Stadium, and I'd love to go.
I remember when I was like 5 years old and Irk Russell became the
81.
the new head coach, and wow, Chuck was already done with him by then.
Shut up. I was. So I went to Kennesaw Junior College,
Okay.
and then got my marketing degree at Georgia Southern. So I'm tech.
Yep. Well, I mean,
Southern.
look, I'm what I really am is a Berry College Viking. Hook
Yeah.
'em
There you
Vikes.
go.
There you go.
I played.
Go Vikings.
I played at Berry College in 2013. We started the program there.
Nice.
Yep. So built it from the ground up. They've been really successful for the last. Our first 2 years were miserable, and from then
That's what
on,
usually happens.
Well, you go play a bunch of seniors when you're a bunch of freshmen.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to beat you up pretty good.
And my youngest son went to MTSU.
Oh yeah, Blue Raiders.
So we got the same schools. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll become a Berry fan just for you.
Well, now my father's at Sewanee,
Sewanee.
which is our rival.
Every time I go over Mont Eagle, I think of your dad right that exit. Yeah.
You know what would be interesting is the next time a school starts up a football program, whether Barry in 2013, KSU in 2015, you didn't have anything, and once again, you had to play against a bunch of seniors, and you got a bunch of friends. Now there's the portal,
Right.
So all of a sudden, if a team is coming brand new out in
They
2027,
can get some guys.
they could get a lot of guys,
That's
to where all of a sudden, it's like, well, do you have a bunch of freshmen? Heck no, man. I got half of the Northwestern guys on my
No
defense.
doubt. Well, and Mercer started around the same time that we did, so we played them. They started in 2012. We had to play Mercer, which is a far different competition, but they were all freshmen as well. That would not happen anymore.
No, it just wouldn't. It just wouldn't. 'Cause-
Well, go ahead, Robert.
no, I just because if you're sitting on the bench and you're a junior or senior and you're still not going to start, you're like, hey, I'm going to that new school and going to have a little playing time.
All right, so let's get into our subject quick. So how many schools in the SEC have a chance to win the conference this year?
Well, I think because of what you just said with the transfer portal, especially in maybe the SEC particularly, as much talent is attracted there, I think it's pretty wide open. I think there are 8 or 9 schools that can win in the SEC.
Really?
I do. I think I look at your big ones, Georgia, Texas, Alabama. They're probably going to be there. But you start getting into those second and third tier, the Ole Miss, the Tennessees. I look at a school like Texas A&M, who's doing some really good things there. I just don't know who's going to be on their roster and how good they're going to be.
But in the world of portal and NIL, we don't know who's going to be on any team. Look at what Indiana did
That's right.
last week, and we'll talk about
great
that.
example.
but Georgia lost everybody on their offensive line. They've got a new quarterback. Texas lost everybody on their defensive line.
They have Arch.
Yeah. Well, but if Arch was that good, why wasn't he playing ahead of Ewers?
I'm getting a kick out of the attention he gets. I
Yeah.
hope he is really good though.
Yeah, I hope they beat Georgia, but other than that, I don't really care. Does Oklahoma stand a chance? Does LSU stand a chance?
Right.
Does Ole Miss have a chance? I mean, I don't think the SEC has ever been more wide open than this. And I would probably say 6 teams have a chance and no more. Robert, how about you?
Well, if you said 6, you'd probably be saying Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU, and Ole Miss.
That's
or
right.
something like that.
Yeah.
And then right after that, you got South Carolina. Well, that kid can spin it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be shocked. And like you said, Texas A&M, they got tons of money going out. Way down at the bottom of last year's standings, Oklahoma, although, yes, culture shock with coming to the SEC, told you it would happen, all that other good stuff. You know, this program is big, it's proud, they've got a lot of money, and, you know, they're not going to be
They won't be on the bottom for long.
You know, they're not going to be hanging out with Mississippi State for long. This is a team that will be in the top 5 or 6 for 20 straight years or something. So it'll be interesting.
Yep. So we'll get into our predictions in a few weeks, but let's move on to the Big Ten. Not as many likabilities in the Big Ten as I think in the SEC. I see maybe 4 teams: Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, and Oregon. Now, Indiana had a great year last year. Illinois beat South Carolina in the bowl game. So they're supposedly an up-and-comer, and they have a very weak schedule. But I see them maybe competing in the upper tier of the Big Ten, but I don't see them going to the championship game. Or
Yeah, I'm with you.
Do you have any interest in USC on that list?
no.
Yeah, I didn't either. I had them on there, and I went back and forth. I don't think they have a chance. I've got 4 as well.
The same 4 I had?
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Hey, who do you think is going to win the Big Ten this year?
Oh, good Lord, don't ask that guy.
That's what I thought you'd say.
We all know what he's going to say.
Yeah, I got that.
But, you know, I wouldn't argue the fact that there's probably 3 or 4 teams. I would actually say 3, Oregon, Penn State, and Ohio State. That second tier.
Robert's dishing your squad over here, Ian.
No, I just included his team.
Oh, I thought you said Ohio State, Penn
State.
Oh, you did say Penn State.
And
My bad.
Oregon. So I'd say those would be the 3, and then you know, the Michigan or whoever else. But just to mention them, since you asked him the question, a team like USC, man, they get a lot of people. So you know, at any given point, same way that we're talking about with a team like Oklahoma, USC did not join the Big Ten to hang out with Maryland and Northwestern and Purdue.
That's right.
And at some point in time, they're gonna come rolling into Columbus and then into Arbor, and you're gonna be like, holy, you know, that guy's the best quarterback ever. They say the guy on the bench is better than him, you know, and it's just they're that type of program. So
Yeah.
I think there's 3, but that second tier, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, somebody popped out of there.
All right. How about the Big 12?
Not a lot going on there.
I had to look up who is in the Big 12
Who was in the
conference.
Big 12? Yeah. That's why they're down towards the bottom.
I'm biased towards Baylor. I was born in Waco.
Oh,
My
were
dad
you?
was a defensive coordinator at Baylor when I was born. So
I didn't know your dad
I've got
was
some
ever at
Baylor
Baylor.
Bear in
Yeah.
me. Houston would be fun to watch, but I frankly have no earthly idea who could win that. Utah has historically been pretty good.
Yeah, I've got them on my list. I've got 5. Kansas State's got Avery Jackson back at quarterback, had a really good year. Dillingham's impressed me what he's done at Arizona State. And you probably have a better read on college coaches than most people because your dad is one. And he's been the head coach 3 times?
The dinner table.
Twice.
Twice.
3.
3 times, yeah. And then Texas Tech, again, with a lot of money.
The most, supposedly.
Colorado, they're going to start off with an L. I know that. So beyond that, I don't know what they're going to have. And, you know, with Coach Prime's condition, I mean, how much can he do? We'll see what happens there. And then I had Utah down just because of historically. I think BYU lost their Jewish quarterback and he's gone. So I don't know what they're going to do on the offense.
And he's not being anti-Semitic because Larry would like whip him in the parking lot. So he's just pointing out.
I am. I'm just pointing out what they called him BYU. So that's That's just a nickname, an acronym.
How about everybody's new favorite baseball player, Nick Kurtz, for the A's?
He's the rookie that hit
He's the
4
rookie
home
that hit
runs.
4 home runs, and you know what his nickname is?
I'm afraid to ask.
Well, you got the big dumper nowadays out in Seattle.
Palmquist guy.
Palmquist guy. And so this guy was born in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and although he grew up in the Chattanooga area, they give him his nickname for his roots. He's the Big Amish.
The Big Amish.
I'm like, I like the Big Amish. That's a good name.
That is a pretty cool name. I could live with that.
This is now. I'm going to retract what I first said about very few teams. At the top of these different conferences, it's tough to pierce that and get in there. I don't think any of these teams are that great, so I wouldn't be surprised if, like you said, Utah was 2-7 last year. You think they got a chance? That's because that conference is so bad. Now, that being said, I don't know how many of these teams have a chance against anything we just talked about. In
the other two
the top
conferences.
3 teams, the top 6 teams. I don't know that any of these guys could, but this could be, the same way we didn't expect Arizona State
got in the
or
playoffs.
Iowa State last year or BYU. The top 3 teams were not on that radar, so it could be fun. There could be some interesting
Yeah,
stuff.
we talk about it every year. The first time there should be a poll is like 5th or 6th week into the season.
Oh, yeah.
No reason to have one before that.
No, especially nowadays. You have no idea what you're going to get with anybody. And these are the teams that are attracting SEC-type talent. The good guys from here are going to other schools. So they're
Right.
This is where they're coming from. You've never heard of them, and they go show out somewhere
And
else.
Texas Tech has $45 million to
Texas Tech is a
spend.
great program.
So if they have the right guy pulling those strings, man, they could do great things.
Arizona could be good too. They have a good historically good
Sure.
program to pull
Absolutely.
in. If you're a kid, you want to go to Arizona, I'd be thrilled to go to Arizona.
I would look at this list, and honestly, outside of, I'd say Cincinnati, UCF don't have a chance.
No.
But outside that, even Oklahoma State was 0-9 last year. I've seen
That's another program.
I've seen the Cowboys win a lot of games, and
Mike Gundy's won a lot of the ball games
Mike
out there.
Gundy, they have an incredible facilities. They were in front of the facilities game before anybody else started saying we want to have great facilities. Oklahoma State's always had that.
Stillwater's a tough place. So if they were to rebound and go 5-4 or something like that, it wouldn't shock me.
No, not at all.
All right, so we got one more of the Power 4 now we have, and that's the ACC. Clemson is obviously the cream of the crop for now.
They won the game last year, but SMU rolled through that entire schedule.
Yep.
So
Yep. SMU, we're going to see what happens. I know you think I'm being a homer, but I really
You
think
are.
Tech's got a shot.
No, I like what Tech's doing.
Yeah, Brent Key is
Yep.
perfect for Georgia Tech.
Yep.
If he only had Andy McCollum on his staff, it would be even more perfect. But he's got Brian Bohannon down there now. Very happy to see Brian down there. Tech has a fairly favorable schedule other than Clemson and Georgia. And I think there was one other really tough game they might have. But I like Tech's chances. Not maybe for the playoffs, but maybe go 9-3. I like, and if they could upset Clemson or upset Georgia, which they almost did last year, who knows what could happen with Tech. I think Haynes King and what's the running back's name? James? No, I'm blanking. But nice combo in the backfield. Got one of the good receivers left. And I'm impressed with Brent Key so much, and I think they'll do well this year. Ian's got something to say.
he's got the name.
Jamal Haynes, thank you. Haynes King and Jamal Haynes.
Not
that's
only
right.
a Penn State guy, but a Georgia Tech
He's
guy.
a number 2 guy, Tech guy. Thanks, Ian. And Ian will be our guest next week right here on Three Guys Who Love Sports. So, Robert, you think Clemson's the cream of the crop, or?
Clemson's a really good team.
Klubnik's a good quarterback.
They've been recruiting well for 12 years, and he's finally decided he can't exist without the portal. So I don't know what he got out of the portal this year, but at least he dabbled in
Get
it.
the toe in there.
He dabbled in it.
He dabbled in it.
But,
you look at the roster. Well, SMU, there's a certain factor where none of these teams had played SMU, so SMU's style was a little different. That's going to catch up with them this year. Everybody's seen that style, and they're going to be a little more ready when they come to town. Miami, they lost their quarterback, so now they might have a guy who's driving a Lambo now, but I don't see him doing anything like that.
he lost his girlfriend and crashed his Lambo or something.
Yeah, he had a wild ride there.
He got $10 million.
I'm not sleeping on Florida State. I can't. I can't sleep on Florida State. They had a bad year, but the year before that, they were like 11-1.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
Tech beat them in Ireland, opened the game last year.
That's right. So,
Were you at that game? Did you go to that?
Which one?
The Ireland game, Tech and
No,
FSU.
I didn't. We were in Dublin, 2015 maybe. And
Okay.
That was still to this day my dad's favorite experience that he's ever been on.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
That we played Boston College that year, and it was great. I did not go to that.
Yeah.
But I do think Georgia Tech has a chance. I'm not going to sleep on Florida State because I can't. The ACC is one of those, conferences that someone can dominate. Clemson can go 11-1, but you just got to go 8-4, 9-3, or something like that to play in that ball game and just get one shot, and you can win the ACC.
So tell me this. Looking at everything we just did, how many teams can the ACC or the Big 12 get
Into
that Final
the
14?
playoff. Wow.
Final 12.
Whoever wins.
Final 12.
Well, actually, I wanted to ask you guys that when we were talking about the SEC and the Big Ten. Is it attractive to win their conference? Because I'm shooting for third, and I competitively. I understand.
You don't have to play that.
You don't have to play that game, and the biggest risk is that you play that game and your star quarterback gets hurt.
Sure.
Or something to that effect, and it has no benefit for
Well,
you.
the loser of those championship games is at such a disadvantage because they have to play immediately. You
right.
just played the best team in your conference and lost to
Probably
them.
one of the best in the country.
And now all of a sudden they're going to throw here. You get to go to Athens this year. Oh, okay, that'll get me over the hump.
Yeah, no, I think that it's you have to win the ACC, you have to win the Big 12 if you're going to make it. But the other ones, I'm third's a pretty good prize.
And I'm with you on the same thing I said about USC and knowing that USC could be good on any given year. Watching what Florida State brought to the table, knowing that if they had a quarterback, they were playing in the Final Four a couple years ago, and watching everybody just jump off the Titanic like never before.
When Travis Jordan got hurt.
And you look at them. Are they good? No, but they are Florida State. There are people who are 5-star players who've known that's where they're going to play for many years, so they're going to be good again. I don't envision them at the bottom of this list anymore.
Not for long.
Well, like we said, college football's 30 days away. Is that what you said, Robert?
Yep, 30 days.
How fantastic is that? All right, let's do our last commercial, and we'll talk a little pro.
Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Access has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, the most memorable workouting ever, or just wanting to take something else off your bucket list, American Access has their 3.5 Atlanta locations waiting for you in Marietta, Tucker, downtown at the Works, and the uber cool new Mobile X experience that can be set up wherever you need. Keep an eye out for them at upcoming events and festivals. Look them up online, or just give them a call at 678-763-3635. That's right, 678-763-3635 to schedule your next adventure.
And we thank you, Dan Fisher, for being a sponsor of the Three Guys That Love Sports. Don't forget to come back tonight at 7 for the Owls Who Love Sports, all about Kennesaw State in their sports department. A big hootie hoop. So look forward to that. So let's talk a little pro football. There is a lame radio station around town that is promoting last Friday as the last Friday before football starts. But I have to tell you, Mike Bell and Jamie Dukes, there's a football game tomorrow night. And don't tell me it's only the Hall of Fame game, because it's just like any other preseason football game.
All the games are going to stink in 2 weeks, so you can't differentiate.
You can't
this one
differentiate
stinking
from this
different.
one. It's still last Friday, as in Jerry Seinfeld would say. So your party is a week late. Quite lame.
Yeah. They have no clue, and they're on the radio every day. You think they sooner or later would have looked it up and stopped
Somebody said
spinning
hey,
it out the same way.
Yeah. So Hall of Fame game, Chargers in the line. So you going to watch it?
I'm going to say I might pop it on for 2 or 3 seconds. I've never been much of a Hall of Fame game guy. These two teams always have to show up for camp a little early, and because this game is so early, they don't push it. It's not like a regular first preseason game, where you get a little bit of this, and you don't get a lot in the first preseason game, but even less in this game. But I'll be happy that it's on and somebody threw a pass.
How about you, Drew?
If they put pads on, I'll turn it on.
Yeah, that's me, man. That's a good call. I like that.
That's how I roll. But
Yeah.
I did hear, speaking of quarterbacks from college, DJ Uyunglele may be playing in this game. So
He's at L.A. now, right? Yeah.
So he'll.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, we'll get to watch some good quarterbacks.
Whose
play.
dad wanted him to move because they didn't have the right players around. That's crazy. Yeah, I'll probably watch some of it just because it is football, and it's not this game, and it's not the WNBA. It's something that I love and I'm passionate about. And will I start taking fantasy notes tomorrow? No.
Were you throwing things on the court at the WNBA game?
No. Would somebody do that?
Yeah, I won't bring up. I won't bring up what was thrown out on the court.
I'm assuming it wasn't anything that like
No,
an octopus or a squid like
No,
they
no.
did at the Red Wings games.
No, wouldn't be like that.
No. Number one, I would never go to a WNBA game, unlike you. I know you've been to see Caitlin play.
I would go to that.
Yeah.
I would absolutely go to that.
To see Caitlin play?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and I
You
went
need to hang around Robert. His uncle's a big Caitlin Clark fan.
Okay, great.
And going, when you watch the Atlanta Dream play, and there's 6,000 people, and the camera never pans up to this light, because that's the way it is. It's a lot different when you go to Gainsbridge Arena in downtown Indianapolis, and there's 17,500 people. It's like, wow, the Hawks can't sell this many tickets.
No kidding.
All right. Well, we're going to skip a couple of things on our agenda because we're running a little bit out of time.
That's all good.
Let's get right into the over and unders for the NFC East. Hey, Ian, don't leave for 6 minutes. I got to talk to you. All right.
Those guys look like hosts.
They've been plotting. Look at these guys. They've been plotting. All right.
He asked me what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like I'll be uncomfortable at a few points.
So let's start off with the NFC East. We've done all the AFC teams. Let's start with the NFC East. Philadelphia at 11.5, the returning Super Bowl champs. Over or under, Drew?
I'm going to go over. I like what they do. They run the ball and they play defense, and those are my two favorite things. So I'm going to go over on the Eagles.
I'm going to go under on the
It's
Eagles.
a high number.
Yeah, it is. And they've
big
won.
number.
They've won, and I
It's
think
hard to keep doing it.
yeah, it's just hard to keep doing it. It's a little bit complacent. I got the ring and whatever, all that stuff. But I mean, I understand that it's not pros are not supposed to be that. Like the Braves say, "Well, we're not playing." What's the guy that just got hurt? Tore his Achilles. Ronald Acuna. Tore his Achilles or something. He's going to be out for 10 days. And they said, we may not play him the rest of the year. Why? The guy's paid to play, not paid to sit on the bench. I don't care what you're doing. Let's pay. Let's play. But I kind of feel the same way about this. It's just you can't get up and up and up. And I know Kansas City did it for a couple of years. And Philadelphia, I think it's very
I don't
hard.
think Kansas City's done with it yet.
Yeah, but it's very. They didn't get to three-peat. It's very hard to two-peat, much less three-peat.
Sure.
So, what do you think, Robert?
I want to go under as well. My biggest problem with going under is how good that defense is.
Right.
That defense is so good, and although you can go, well, this is probably not going to be as good, and this might not look like this. Yeah, I don't see Jalen Carter doing anything except for throwing people. He's going to start picking people up and throwing. How did Washington lose? Well, Jalen Carter threw guys into the quarterback, and they're just that good. So I'm going to go 12 wins and take that slight over.
Okay. How about the Commanders? Soon to be the Redskins again, I hope. I'm going to go over on Washington. I think this is their year. I think they win the division. I think Jaden Daniels is the guy. And if they get Terry McLaurin signed, that'll even be more so. And I know he's in camp. He hasn't signed yet, but he is in camp. So.
That's a good thing.
I'm going under. I don't believe in them in any way right now. I don't.
We can't agree on everything.
No, we cannot.
Who don't you believe in? Jalen?
Jaden Daniels. No, I think he's probably pretty good, but he's going to. The second year's tough for a quarterback. They still have to protect him. He's very probably easily hurt. I've seen him run around and do some stupid things.
Correct. Anybody who's willing to run around is going to take an extra shot
That's
from
right.
a safety.
They tried to get some weapons for him. I think Debo Samuel's over there, but I don't trust their defense, and I don't think they can keep protecting him the way they did last year.
And I'm kind of right there. I've never been impressed with this roster that much. So Jaden is really good, but outside of Jaden, you got a running back, Alabama running back who likes to get shot right before the season starts. Scary Terry's not very happy, and yeah, I'm not in love with
Didn't they get Debo Samuels too?
They did, but why did San Francisco let Debo go? They didn't let Debo go 4 years ago when he was dominating the league. This is a guy who's had each year a large step back or a large step down. So I'll go just under.
Okay. Dallas at 7.5. You even have to ask me which way I'm going.
Chuck, how you going? I know you love them ever since they fired Tom Landry.
Yes, that would be the under on the Cowboys.
I'll go with you on that one.
Way under.
Okay.
Like
Way under?
0-17 would be fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be good, but they're going to score a lot of points. This is one of those fantasy nuggets where that defense is probably not going to be great, and Dak is going to be slinging it. And there's two great wide receivers on that field, and we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna say under. I think they get to that 7.
So that's the first one we're in consensus on. We're all under.
Which means bet the farm and
Bet
take the
the farm,
boys.
we'll take the
boys are
boys
winning
on
the
the
Super
over.
Bowl.
All right, and lastly, the New York Giants at 5.5. This is probably as low as a spread goes or as an over and under goes.
I would assume that it is. And
Yeah.
because it's
Especially
so
since
low-
they just added another game to the NFL season.
They did. But I've got an attachment to the Giants now. The defensive coordinator Shane Bowen was with the Titans, and he was on one of my dad's staff. So we would always go. He would get us tickets. So I think their defense is going to be really good because my man Shane's got it rocking and rolling. Plus they got Abdul Carter. So you talk about someone throwing guys into a quarterback.
yeah.
I think they're going to be all right. I'm going to go over because I like the guys that are there.
I hate to disagree with you again, but
That's okay.
I'm doing the under on
Wow.
the Giants. Yeah.
They got nothing on offense.
They do not.
Their team is just not very good, and yeah. So I have Philadelphia over and Washington, Dallas, and Giants all under.
Not a good year for the NFC East, then, huh?
I hope not. 'Cause
Yeah, I only had Washington over. I think I've had everybody else under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Giants are not good. It'd be interesting to see. I think we're past people tanking. For a number 1 pick right off the bat. That's not going to happen in the first 6 weeks. But once teams do go to 1-5 or something like that, and maybe Sellers is slinging it in South Carolina, or Arch is doing his thing, it'd be interesting to see when these guys start, well, we're going to try to play some different players and see what's going on out here. Coach speak for, my hands are tied, and we're going to be awful.
I can only coach the guys on the field, right?
I can only
Only coach guys on the field. That's all right. Well, we're right up against 6 o'clock. Man, this was a fun show. It's fun when you go through and you have to skip a couple of things. It means you had good spirited conversation. We had a good time today. Drew, we should appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
And
Thanks for
Robert,
having me.
great show. Guys, don't forget, Drew, you'll come back, right?
Oh, sure.
We'll get you back on here before football starts.
Robert will have me.
I will have Drew.
I don't even go into it, especially after what you told me what women are throwing stuff on the court. All right.
That guy Will Renfro going.
I got Will Renfro's
He
information.
read that article.
All right, guys. Hey, take care of yourselves out there, guys. Know your numbers. Cover your ass. Get your prostate checked. We'll see you next week right here on 3 Guys Who Love Sports.
What was thrown.
Yeah. I
He
told you it goes
doesn't
by a
know
lot
what was
quicker than
thrown.
it
I
does,
just
man.
mentioned it. He's like, no.
That's really, really below the waist.
really suck in the world. You know, if you work in Detroit, you know, there's different jobs like that. You think, oh man, that sucks. But can you imagine being the court person? Hey, go eat this.
It was security that came out. It was security that came out.
So we met down there and went to the game.
That's a good place to go. We lived there for 9 years, so
Yes, I saw that one.
I love when people work stuff.
Oh, she's amazing. She's so pushing me. See that little thing he's talking about? It's an expression that and it's
Let her cook. Yeah, it was let's get let's get
let me cook or something like that. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't think Paige Becker's let me cook.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
I'm listening. Oh.
Michael, he's new to Miller's. He's going to be part of our leadership team. I was just showing him what you guys do every week, and come in here. And yeah, they do a great job. We love them. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am the CEO. Okay. There's a lot of.
They do. They lock the door behind you. Yeah, this is my my KSU shirt from when they made the tournament. I made Chuck stand in line for 30 minutes for this year. Come on. That's way hotter than peachy. As soon as you put it to your tongue, it's hot. You can even taste the peach.
Larry, what'd you think of Drew?
It's better on the chicken. Love to see him on again during the football season. You said before, but we're not going to make that.
That's the whole thing about it is how many times has a guy left here, and all three of us felt the exact same where he'd be great in week 7 of the football season or week, you know. That's most of our people.
So what are we going to do about fantasy football?
What part?
Well, I didn't think Zach Hyatt was going to play. But he told me Monday he still wants in.
Okay.
Because he texted him and he hadn't responded. And he
Well-
changed jobs, and I said, well, I guess he's not going to make it. He's yours? But he asked me Monday, when's the draft?
What are we eating here, huh?
Hot peach.
No, I know, I had it. It's good. Do you like it?
I do.
Here you go. What do you guys have on?
Hey, Alex, would you hand me that fork and spoon right there in front of, or fork and knife?
It's usually my job.
Oh, you don't have anybody like?
They're going to be the hosts. And we're going to interview the two of us. Usually we interview them. That's our,
We've already got 12.
that's our super fan and our second super fan. It's just for the record, the big guy.
Yeah.
You see that every week?
No, we have 3 divisions of 4.
Oh yeah.
So we have 13.
But do you know who he grew up next to?
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, Matt. I talked with my dad about Matt, and he talked.
Yeah,
to
that was
Matt,
my
and
bad.
he's like, no shit. That's great. It's a small world. 'Cause
Well-
I think wasn't he the younger brother of one of Matt and Dave's friends?
I think he's in
Or was
between.
he the?
I think he was in between Hal and Matt as far as his
That's
age.
right. Yeah, yeah.
And so I went on the text line the one time and I said something about my super fan, Will Renfro, and Hal Bradford comes back with, is that Will Renfro who grew up at 27, 19, you know, and I won't
Yeah, 'cause they were always going over to each other's houses and everything. Yeah, I went to.
Brian?
Yes. No. Wait. For so? Yes, it's out. I went over to his place a couple times, and they like. Apparently, they used to all go over there because that was his parents' house. So, would you go over there too? Or did you not know them?
I did not know them then.
Yeah,
So
we
it's like a
that's definitely.
bachelor pad in the basement.
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I didn't know your dad or anybody else.
Until when? Because I know you guys were like the fantasy league and all that, and that's how you guys really started knowing each other.
Correct, but I'd say mid '90s. You know, so once they were
Okay,
finished
so
with
like college and all that kind of stuff.
once they started finishing with college, I might have met them one time while they were at UGA, but most everything was shortly
Who was
thereafter.
the mutual friend where you guys met each other through? Or was it like a lot of
I would have
mutual
met
friends?
Matt
Okay.
and Wade,
Okay, yeah.
and we used to go to Chicago Sports Bar all the time, so that's where I started hanging out with them. And then, you know, your dad would show up or something or whatever it was.
Hey guys.
Hey,
The Dave A.
the Dave.
But no, that's cool. Speaking of which, when do you guys have your draft?
That's what we were just talking about.
I was about to say
3 weeks from tomorrow.
3 weeks from tomorrow.
Make sure they have it down for us. We told Adriana that it was going to be the 21st of August.
21st of August. All right, I'll make sure they know. I'm at your draft with the Retta League.
So because of that one might have just gotten changed because your dad was flying home on a Saturday that was going to be, and I'm supposed to go to a. So your dad said.
Fries are great.
Your dad said, "Well, I can't be there because I'm flying back," and Matt basically told him, "Well, it sucks for you. You know,
Sucks to see
you're doing a."
draft last year. So my dad can do that, right?
Well, correct. But then I was like, well, Dave, just to let you know, I got the same problem. I got to go to a thing. And so once I said it, everybody's like, well, maybe we should redo the day. I was like, Dave, we're in, baby.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Do we have any questionable people on the?
I don't think so.
So what was your question again? You thought Zach was leaving and you had somebody else who you were inviting for his spot?
Yeah, a friend of Al's and Brent. And Brent texted me last night, said, the guy's in.
Well, if it's all about money, like I said, we can go from a 12 team to a 14 team. You know. Has everybody else replied saying, yes, I'm in, no, I'm not? Or
Can you pull up the list, Larry?
I can pull it up.
I know Ian's replacing the guy that I kicked out.
I heard that somewhere. Oh, that's right, it's from you.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear Bill saying they turning this wall into the KSU wall?
No.
Absolutely.
We made a change, brother. That's kind of cool. I guess we don't need to worry about the flag as much anymore. If they're gonna do a whole wall. So I know you were pretty fucked up last week about it all. How you feel this week right now? Do you think we'll have it?
I talked to Carrick briefly today. He said the guy that he talked to from Greg Wagner didn't think it was that big of a deal. Then he talked to Brad Ledford, who's Milton's assistant, and he was very non-committal, is what he said. And then you saw the text from Carrick today that said he's got a conversation scheduled with Milton for Tuesday.
You, me, Ian, and Larry, Rittersdorf, Mark War, Zach Hyatt, Palmquist, Bill Sterrett, Jengis, Greg Fuller, and Chaz. So, yeah, Chaz is in, Greg's in, Jengis is in, Bill's in, Palmquist is in. The only question I would wonder is Mark. If you, yeah.
I'll see him at poker.
He might stop coming if you keep winning.
He won't
Could
stop
happen.
coming. We've been playing together way too long.
Okay, so Ian's whole team name, did you see what it turned down for what? It's the old rap song. Only he has what? Because so if he doesn't draft the Steelers, it's really not a good name.
Yeah.
You can almost guess he's probably going to go one of the first defenses to make sure his team name makes sense.
It's easy enough. I'm sure Dylan would be on. From BioLite, I'm sure he'd be like to have a team.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't think it'll be hard to pick up a 14.
No.
You know, the problem is now the divisions.
Well, Well,
Just two divisions of 7.
or
Well, I thought we wanted to try and do 3 divisions where we were each in a different one this year.
well, that's because we had to play each other twice.
Yeah.
If we go to a 14, basically you're going to play everybody once and one guy twice. So it's really a wide open and very fair schedule, minus that one game where, oh, you got to play Larry twice. I had to play, Bill, something. And that's always going to be the case. But.
So we'll make a decision Friday after I talk to Mark.
Okay. Oh, you are playing cards this week? Perfect. So if Mark doesn't play, then Ritterdorf slides right in and we're good. If not, we'll need one more. And once again, that I think
I know Dylan will. I know Tim Bell, who's been on the show a couple of times. He wants to be a team.
The hosts are complaining you're in their seats.
they're absolutely right. I plan on telling them where to go if it's appropriate, but at this point in time, they're just correct. So.
Robert gets all the softball questions tonight. I like his attitude when he started. He knew how to play this tonight. He's like, I'm not going down.
No, you said.
Back in that seat. Chuck doesn't want you at the bar. That's why they sit you over there.
Hello. You guys have already come up with that for 3 years. You don't have to discuss anything more. You were ready.
We were ready for this. I played it off too. I was like, Chuck, this doesn't sound like a great idea. Inside my mind, I was like, question 2 is, are you proposing on the lineup to Wake Forest?
I think you guys are two of the nicest men I've ever met.
Yeah. Or is that Indiana? That's Indiana. That's a long trip to be in the car with me. She's a sweetheart. You didn't answer yet. That's exactly what I was thinking. Had nothing to do with her. Exactly.
I was forced to drive him to his surgeon's office for his checkup period. He wants to be combative because he's not sure who's keeping him from going clean. Period. Surgeon said surgery was a success and he appears to be ahead of schedule. asked me to swing him by the house so he could see the cat. Period. I told him we couldn't do that because when I told him it was time to leave the house, he was going to tell me to fuck off. And he did not argue. Hey. Hey, travel girl. What do you got packed?
My clothes.
What clothes?
So much. I have a cute dress. They're doing a whiteout for Jerry's birthday. Wait, let me check on my table.
It's cold in San Francisco. Everything you have is not going to be good. None of it.
I went to school there, but the first time I went to visit,
You realize that Tony Bennett song?
It's August, right?
Correct.
Right. I'm gathering up there. It's going to be warm. First thing I do is I buy sweatshirts and other stuff to wear.
Oh yeah.
That's what I did living there. Is, there were no seasons. It was rainy season, cold and sunny season, but that was about it.
Minimum of 2.
Oh, that was so perfect.
Watch out, where you go?
We're gonna do. We're gonna kind of take all of these.
I know. I have layers. Okay, but I'm gonna be in a crowd of 60,000 people.
So I'm like looking because I was walking.
I just look.
I had a cute dress for Jared's birthday.
I'm sure of that. But
I have a jean jacket all over everything. It's super cute.
the high Friday is 68, high Saturday is 70, high Sunday is 69. It's going to be cold. And once again, that's if you're in the sunshine. If you're in the shade of this stuff, 12 degrees minimum.
Not as bad as it sounds.
No, you'll enjoy it, but you just can't pack like you're going to California.
Dude, and I am going to California.
No. No, you're not. You're going to San Francisco in the summer.
I am very excited, but it's warm and I'm not ready for cold.
Well, it's going to be, so don't anticipate anything but that.
I went to the same, probably the same show she's going to, Summer Solstice.
You went to the same show she did, only Jerry was still alive.
I remember that. It was an experience.
Oh, yeah. I've seen Jerry seven times, but never in San Francisco. That's kind of a... Hey, warm clothes, warm clothes, warm clothes, warm clothes.
I'm so jealous. I mean, I have layers, but like, I can tell me. So,
And that's good, but like I said, it's cold. It's way cold. When you guys go to Pier 39 to do touristy things or whatever, you know, when you go there, you're like, oh, this is great. And then as soon as you get down there, you're going to be in the shade for the first 50 yards of your walk and be like, holy crap. I've been a few times.
you'll have to give me. I'll show you my list of places I want to go, but you'll have
Please. Yeah, yeah. You can buy everything you want legally on the thing.
Well, no, with the Grateful Dead show, I mean, I've never seen such a
Clearing my little area out here. I'm just gonna put this back in the car before I forget. Do you want your
Yeah, we had sauerkraut here. We made up some here. Yeah, he'd have to get up in the middle of it. You see him on camera.
Look at this. They just leave their crap all over our table. What is this? Notes? Oh, it's Robert. Just do this. 1, 2, 3. There's 3, right? 3 that you have 4. But you do one of them. Do the computer.
Yeah, I did one on the computer. And then
Are either of you guys
But they're doing a whiteout for Jerry's birthday, and I got the coolest white dress. It's like lace. It is thin, but it's cute. But it's really long, so I can twirl.
So, just for the record, I already had that cemented in my head after the first 2 times you told me, but now,
I actually?
but now I need pictures. Unfortunately, I was hoping that San Francisco Giants were in town because you don't have to go to a game. You can look through the wall, like next to the water, but they're not in town. So,
Oh, that sounds
offer
fun.
them.
I also heard they have really good stadium food.
Oh no, it's very good. Very good.
really good what food?
Stadium food?
San Francisco has.
I didn't realize I told you about my birthday.
They did when I was
excited about it.
We're gonna have a blast.
I was at the old Kansas City Park.
And I didn't mind you telling me more than once. You can keep telling me about it.
So it's cute and it's flat, and I'm gonna twirl with the hippies. That's my favorite. I'm kind of bummed my dad isn't going with me because he always twirls. It was my brother. No, but like.
Bring us pictures.
Which seat do you want, William? You want to lead? You're what? I'm in the right seat. Which right? That's the right seat. What about the wrong seat?
No. I'm in the right seat.
Good. That means I'm not leading. Sucker.
We'll stand here like this.
That means you have to do the intro.
Hello. There's your intro.
Welcome to Owls Who Love Sports. I just get to be Robert Kenny today. American accents.
Gotta let the world know I've got blue balls.
Oh, don't do that.
We need to get you guys a face for
Whose face is in there? I don't remember. Oh boy.
whoever's got the most picks right.
Oh, that's not happening. That's annoying. Did you see that?
Are you doing the first ad? Is that the way this goes?
He's got them in order. American Axes, Joshua Smith, and we proudly offer.
Castrol
There you go.
products from Joshua Smith. We don't have our This Week in Sports, though, do we?
What weekend sports?
Well, we
Callie
really-
Terza was the only one that
We don't-
performed this week, right?
Soccer starts soon, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they haven't started yet. Hey, you better text me if you're gonna leave. It's the Robert Kenny Show. time is it anyway?
6:51.
Oh, we got 9 minutes. Time, perfect time to take a nap. Did you wash your hands?
Me?
No, I was talking about him.
Oh.
Ooh, I forgot my water.
Water with no ice, please. When you're done. You didn't have to.
Are y'all hosting?
Yes.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, they lost their minds. I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I can totally see this going all over the place.
There it is.
Tables on an incline and
What is today's date?
July
30th.
30th. Yeah, we're out of that.
We are?
No. Is that? Oh, I thought it was the World University.
No, that's tomorrow. Men's track and field at the USATF Outdoor Championships.
I don't think we're in it anymore, are we?
It's on the composite calendar. That doesn't necessarily mean it's.
Is that Kennesaw State's calendar?
Yeah. And then next weekend. Oh, it's the same event. And then there's women's soccer. It's the first game. Women's soccer.
August 4th, right?
Yeah, Monday.
Yep.
Versus Presbyterian.
7 p.m. I might go to that.
Is it at? It's a home event, right?
I'm not sure you could handle that pressure. To be honest with you, I'm not sure we can handle this pressure. Not sure we can handle this pressure. Whose bright idea was this?
It wasn't ours.
That's for sure.
He said one pay.
How did we end up?
Yeah.
How did we end up here?
They'll pay it all in lump sum. If we can get them to write a check, we don't lose 3%.
You've already hosted the show before.
Who?
This is your third time.
It's okay.
It's okay. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's okay. I say it to everything now. Anything goes. Haven't I told you that? That's my new saying.
That's what I said.
Whenever Charlie says anything, whatever, anything gone wrong. House is on fire. It's okay.
I can send them
What's this called? The fire department.
It's okay.
invoice that says send a check to.
Now, when it goes wrong with me, that's when I drop
Wow,
that.
that is sensitive. Ooh. Okay. I can hear that all the way over here.
I can do, like I said,
Larry's funny looking.
Larry.
Wow, this microphone is very sensitive. Very sensitive.
Well, don't say anything bad of it.
seriously.
Don't tell it looks fat because it'll get upset. It's so sensitive.
Can you hear me now? Oh my gosh, you can hear me do this.
Yeah, it can really get.
Yikes.
Yeah.
What? How come the other microphones aren't like this?
I don't know. We're just talking. Yes. I've said that into the microphone like he could hear me.
These are very sensitive microphones.
Hey.
Very sensitive. You ready to flip that coin to see whether or not we're going to destroy him or not? You think he's nervous?
No.
So are you going to open with a recap of KSU?
He's the host.
There's nothing happened this past week.
Okay, I mean, I'm just asking.
The only real thing that happened was Kelly Terz's performance over in Germany, but she didn't even finish.
She fell short.
Yeah.
Yep. Fell
But-
short by
but-
about 0.7 meters.
But she did post some fun TikToks.
Yeah, her gear unveiling is what a gear haul. Gear haul.
Chuck just said you guys are both really good guys. We'll see if he feels that way now.
He won't. he may never ask us back in this restaurant again. You'll be fine. Yes. Maybe.
We didn't ask for this. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially 5 hours before the show. Hey, Garrett, do you think you could? Yeah, sure, no problem.
When the idea hits, I gotta go with it. Paul Schultz will never heard back from him. It was unusual.
Was he supposed to be here tonight?
No, I wrote him on Sunday and said, "Do you have any girls who would like to be on the show?" And usually he'll text me back or call.
I was looking at the time.
At the what?
The time.
Oh,
Just getting my nervous energy out of the way.
You got 2 minutes.
2 and 2.
Producer.
Yeah.
He'll tell us when it's time. If he's not drunk already. I'm not singing like Pomeroy, though. That's not happening. Just let you know that in advance.
Oh, that's this week, isn't it?
Smile.
The
You're
Braves
being
game at
filmed.
Bristol.
Put your headphones on. I hear someone talking about the owls in the restaurant. Is that Robert?
That's Robert.
I can't wait to hear your intro.
I have an intro.
Welcome. Good evening and welcome to the Owl.
Yeah, I gotta wait for Larry to give me the and then we had the screaming voices in our heads.
Bum bum bum.
Bum 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 bum.
La 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 la. Me 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 me. La 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 la.
Oh, we've come a long way in Major League Baseball. We banned Pete Rose for life, but there's a sign behind the home plate here that says Bet 360. Look at it.
Wow.
Right there. Bet 360. 365.
365, yeah.
I just asked Sean if he gave you guys any shots beforehand.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, oh God, they're hammered.
You gotta love it. You gotta absolutely love it.
Welcome to the Owl Show here at Miller's on Chastain Road. We are a new host, if you haven't noticed. We're not the normal Chuck and Robert. I have Garrett with me this week.
Good evening.
We're excited to be here. We're going to talk about some things that have gone on, some things that are going to go on, and we're going to interview people that are on the show but are normally doing the interviewing. So we're going to kind of do a reverse interview this week with Chuck and Robert and find out some things that you may want to know. We may find some things that you don't want to know or things they didn't want you to know. So we're going to see how that goes.
Yeah, we're gonna pick and pry.
All right.
See what we can get out of them tonight.
All right, so let's talk about things that have happened this week. Not a lot going on during the summer, but we did have a couple weeks ago we had our hammer throw specialist Kelly Terz on the show before she made her trip to Germany, and she ended up going over there. And how did she do? She just barely missed the cut, right?
Yeah, she barely missed it. I think she was off by 0.7 meters.
That's not that
no,
far.
it's not that much. And but she looked great on the video that I saw.
Yeah.
I guess next time we speak to her, we'll know how she felt about it.
Yeah.
But it looks like she's still having a great time. She's enjoying the trip and the journey, and she's not done yet. She'll be back this year for another year.
And she got one more season
I
of,
believe
of
so.
outdoor?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. Good. Then she can set a new personal record this year.
Right. She
keeps
beating
doing
the
that.
personal bests, and then she has the opportunity to go back and do greater things this year. So
Yeah.
I mean, she's represented Team USA well over there, and the promotions that she's done throughout her time there are they've been on spot. So
Yeah. All right. So and also, so this week now we have some things coming up. So we start soccer season next week.
Yes.
With a Monday home game against Presbyterian, against the Blue Hose.
Yes, against the Blue Hose. I will never get past. That is just, I don't know. I have to look that up one of these days and find out what that means. Do you know what it means?
It's their
or-
socks.
Well, that makes sense. That's pretty straightforward.
It's like they're from they're the group that settled in Clinton, South Carolina was Scottish descent.
Oh, okay.
And so they wore kilts and their socks they called hose, and so their socks were blue, and so they called them the Blue Hose. So that's where that came from. I learned that when I went up there to Presbyterian, and I had to look it up myself because I was like, why are they called that? That was kind of odd to me at first.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they kick the season off Monday against the Blue Hose.
Now, you said there's not a lot going on this summer, but there's a lot of training going on this summer.
Oh, camp has started. So football
Track-
camp started this week.
Yeah, track and field, football camp started this week. Basketball's been going. Volleyball's been going. Even though it's summer for us, most of these sports and these athletes don't take a break.
No, they're in training. They're
in training,
They're
yeah.
not. They may not be competing in games, but they are competing against themselves to get better and get ready for the season. Absolutely.
Right.
Oh, and the other thing that's going on, I thought was rather exciting, is they're having open tryouts for walk-ons this week.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
So if you've got any time left, like the old country song goes, if you're as good once as you ever was, now's your time to get out there and give it a shot.
Yeah, football was never really my strong suit.
Or if you want to be in a cast for the next few months, go out there and give
Right.
it a shot. Because at my age, I would not be walking away from that.
Right. I'd probably injure my ankle or pull something within the first 3 feet. So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So
I
I got to rely on our producer here because we are not the normal host. And Larry needs to tell us, what is the schedule for these for the ads that we have to do?
Well,
Because
why don't we do a set of ads real quick, and then we'll get the
a set? So you want to do two?
so he's going to do one and I'll do one.
Oh, okay. Well,
Joshua Smith first, and then
Oh, fine. Be that way. Yeah, you picked the first one as always.
Well,
Go ahead.
Joshua's a great friend of the show. He's been on the show. Joshua Smith and his wife Tammy are both graduates of Kennesaw State College. He's been practicing law for 24 years, specializing in sports and entertainment law, while continuing his criminal defense, civil litigation, juvenile and personal injury law, and he's ready to represent you at all the way from the small town to the Supreme Court and any appellate court in between. With all the new rules regarding NIL and cash payments to athletes, they are placing a new emphasis on Kennesaw State University student athletics to help our student athletes better navigate some of the bigger issues that have tripped up so many. Give them a call tomorrow at 706-217-2095.
What's that number?
706-217-2095.
You did a pretty good job. I'm impressed. I'm gonna have to raise the bar here.
There
right?
you go.
Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Access has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, the most memorable workouting ever, or just wanting to take something else off your bucket list, American Access has their three and a half Atlanta locations waiting for you in Marietta, Tucker, downtown at the Works, and the uber cool new mobile axe experience that can set up wherever you need. Keep an eye out for us at upcoming events and festivals and look us up at American Access or give us a call at 678-763-3635. Again, that number is 678-763-3635 to schedule your next adventure.
So I want to know, if we go to American Access, can we take the Jacksonville State logo and put it in the bullseye? I think
We
I would
might
do
be
better.
able to work something out. We might be able
Put
to
Jacksonville
work
State in
something
one
out.
lane and Liberty in the other lane, and I think we would do a lot better.
Right.
That sounds like fun.
It's so hard to say American Access. See, I'm giving extra plug for the commercial. So. All right.
Are we ready to bring on our guests?
I'm not sure if they're ready for us to bring them on, but we're going to find out.
Well, let's bring on our guests. Let's bring on Chuck and Robert.
I think Robert's praying for the first
Robert's
time
trying
ever.
to, yeah, because he's not sure where this is going to go.
First time in a long time.
Welcome.
Two of my favorite people.
Gentlemen, you say that now, but we'll see how it works.
We got to get the headset. He's coming prepared so he can look up data because he knows.
This is going to be. This is weird.
I bet it is.
Let's just say that right off the top. This is weird.
Do you think it's weirder for us or weirder for you?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this is fun. Hey guys, thanks for having us on.
Oh, well, thanks for having us on in this seat, I guess. Yep.
So we're excited to have the not the number 1 and number 2 fan, but the number 3 and number 4 because I'm putting them behind us.
Sure. And I'm sitting to the right of you, which makes you number 1, me number 2, which sounds really bad now that it's left my mouth.
Isn't it crazy how many different things you can say sitting on that chair? And it sounded really good when it was coming to your brain. And then I'm number 2. Never a good.
I'm everything you look forward to after your morning coffee.
Oh, jeez. Rodney Dangerfield always had a great line. Just seems like when I get my life taking care of number 1, I always step in number 2.
Yeah, here he goes. He's already trying to hijack the show.
Oh,
Quick, reel him in.
Well, what I want to so you guys keep count of this. How long or how many shows have we done? What number are we on?
We're over 200.
It's I threw away mine.
The piece of paper. It
That's
was
a different sheet. You can't see that.
Yeah.
We're at like 174 and 148.
So over
148.
300.
This is 148.
Oh, you couldn't have saved us for 2 more shows to 150?
Oh, we'll bring you back depending on what's going on.
So really, we're looking at right around 3 years. Is it
2 weeks away.
2 weeks.
2 weeks away? Okay.
Anniversary.
So you started this program, at the urging of Carrick Martin, I believe.
Correct.
So, what made you want to go ahead and do this and add a second show to repertoire? Because you already have the first show that you do at 5 o'clock.
Well, we had Carrick on the first show back when we were still doing it at Red Hair Brewery, and it was probably only my 7th or 8th show or something like that. And during the middle of the show, Carrick's doing selfies and stuff like that. You can tell he's really enjoying himself. And then, afterwards, he's like, we need one of these for KSU. Yeah.
That wasn't quite right. He asked us to come out to his country club or his golf club the next week
To discuss it.
be for the U.S. Open.
And to do a live show from
Yeah.
the golf.
But we knew that's what he wanted
Absolutely we
was
did.
the show.
But then after we did the show out at Dogwood, he said, you guys are fantastic. He said, would you consider doing the second show all about KSU sports? Robert and I looked at each other and said, yeah.
So I guess my question is, you went to Kennesaw State at some point in time.
Junior college.
I took 2 non-accredited classes.
Right. So were either of you fans of Kennesaw State sports before the show?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I've got a friend who played baseball back in the '90s, and I'm a sports junkie. So if there's something good down the road, I'm all about it.
Okay.
I knew Lewis when he was a coach. I can't even think of his last name. Lewis, the basketball coach.
I was going to ask Lewis who, but
That's exactly what I was
Lewis Black. I don't know.
It's not going to
He's
help.
about 6'7", big guy, but he was a coach, and so I followed it through him a little bit, but nowhere as close as I do now or have been for the last almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So we talked earlier about a different topic offline, but one of the things that you were saying was that you had some stats. I don't know if you happen to have them with you. Like over the 3 years, like the purpose of the show, as long as everybody knows, was to help start raising money for NIL, and to donate funds to the school. Do you know how much money we've donated over the 3 years? And I say we because I feel like I'm part of this.
You are part of it. You both are.
Both of you guys are, and so is
We
Larry.
both look at Larry.
We both
He's
looked at
he's got
Larry,
the
yeah.
purse strings.
It's got to be close to $5,000 or something.
probably
like
at least 5,000,
Yeah.
if not more.
Okay.
that. Yeah, at least.
Lots of different things.
I guarantee it's 5,000 more than any other podcast has given to the
There
school.
we go. 5,000 more than the second best podcast.
Yes. Yeah. Where is that again?
We're not going there.
Right.
But I was mentioned on the other podcast. Just
Oh, that podcast. Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel bad now that I totally forgot about that.
Oh, okay.
But they have a different purpose. Theirs is
That is
informational.
totally
This
correct.
one is,
Yeah,
it's completely different. So we can talk about that one too.
I'm going to let you get to your first question then.
So,
Look, they've got questions printed out over there.
Wait,
you can-
it's not the
and
first
all-
question here. It's
That's
the
not the
first
ones you
question
s-
we talked about
It's
right
not
there.
the ones you sent me, is it?
it may or may not be.
Oh,
I mean,
jeez.
I may have just sent those to you to kind of warm you up, like the debate, like a presidential debate. But
I'm with
we,
you.
We can go off script anytime. You know how that works.
Absolutely.
One of the
Getting scared again.
We've talked about a lot of topics throughout the years that we've been here. What is one topic in particular that viewers to the show want to see revisited over and over again, or particular sport or athlete? Can you think of any?
Yeah. There are several things that will never leave my mind.
Okay.
I think one of the great things that we do is we spend a lot of time on sports that aren't typically focused on at a newly Conference USA school. I mean, we spend a lot of time with the volleyball team, a lot of time with lacrosse, track team. Coach McDaniel's one of my favorite people now. Awesome dude. Having Daniel and Callie both on the show, and them being not only the local representatives but the international representatives, to me is one of my favorite parts of everything we've done. And I'll say this too. When we started this, we had no idea how much KSU would impact us. We hoped we would impact KSU, but I think in converse, I can't believe how much it's impacted us.
Can you be more specific about exactly how that's done?
Just the friends that I've made, over the 3 years. I mean, I never knew a women's volleyball coach. Never knew you two guys. I can't even remember where we met first. I'm sure it was at a ball game or something. But I mean, being involved is somebody, because I don't have a local family. Both my boys live out of town, and I just feel like part of the KSU Blacklight family. Even though my name's not on the trailer or anything, but I love being there, and I love meeting people, and I love talking to people, and I just love being a part of a school that I attended. I mean, it's very cool. Everything I do in my life, it seems like over the last few years, have come full circle from going to the Strand Theater as a little boy to watch movies, and now I'm holding an event there. And I went to Kennesaw Junior College, and now I'm running a show about KSU, co-hosting a show. Robert's as much or more a part of it than I am.
I feel the same way today. Don't worry about it, Robert.
But
I'm trying to be
he's
quiet here.
running the show.
I don't know if that's the specifics you were looking for, but yeah. But,
you know what I heard? I heard an idea in there. He said, "My name's not on the
trailer?"
I'm like, we can raise some money for NIL that way.
You could pay to have your name.
sponsor the Blacklight.
Right. What about you, Robert?
Same thing that Chuck's talking about. And I didn't know any of you guys ahead of time, and I'm a self-proclaimed know-it-all. And when we were first approached about the show, I told a few people, probably yourselves included, that give me a couple of years, I'll memorize all of your stats, and I'll become your guru guy. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize you had this many stats already. If you weren't here 20 years ago or 15 years ago, you don't remember this and you don't remember that. Right. And I guess that was my first thing that I thought was really cool. I really underestimated what I was getting into, and how much I would be able to master or figure out that quickly. And but then just some of the shenanigans on the show, whether it be Will and a basketball player eating as much food as possible, which still one of the greatest lines ever was right before the contest started. Will looked at the Colaroo looks at the waiter and he's like, "Hey, can I get a glass of water?" And you pulled a $20 bill out of your pocket like it was burning a hole, and you're like, "Not until after the contest." And it was like, that's brilliant. That is cutting edge brilliant. And then obviously Callie throwing the intern on her shoulder,
Absolutely.
pumping out a few rounds with that, just some weird things where once again, you meet some people, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, I will always, one of the things that happened, it wasn't on the show, but it was here at Miller's. is I will always remember that Petway was named the head coach on a Wednesday because he came here for dinner that night and was sitting over in the corner. And we just kind of walked over like, hey, we see you're wearing Kennesaw. He's like, yeah, I'm the new basketball coach.
Okay, we'd like you to walk over. No, and you know, when the night that we had our very first coach, the lacrosse coach, Laura Manis, she was sitting on accident over in the corner. And, you know.
And Karen went over and fetched her.
Nobody makes mistakes of showing up on Wednesdays to Miller's Ale House without our knowledge. You know,
That's right.
People know.
And we've had some football players just accidentally show up.
Absolutely.
And we've met them and gotten to know them, yeah.
Well, and we had the one show a month and a half ago where it was graduation, and there was a lot of people who were coming in for a graduation dinner, and, you know, we had some old volleyball players, some old football players, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. So one of the things I want to ask is as we've gotten to know all these teams, we've gotten to know, you know, football, basketball, lacrosse, as you mentioned, even women's golf we've had on the show. What one team I don't know if I'm going to ask it exactly as it's worded, but what team would you want to be embedded with to kind of see the inner workings of the team?
That's not a good question.
Yeah,
a couple
yeah.
single guys being embedded with any of the things.
You know, you got to hand it.
It's not a good answer.
You got to hand it off to the volleyball team. The volleyball team. Every person who has ever come on from the women's volleyball team has just been, you know, just such an awesome person, a person who you're rooting for, and you know they come and they come and they go and come and they go, and but it just seems like whatever Schunsel, whoever he invites to the school, it's a great person and you know a great fit for the university. And awesome to have on the show.
Well, one of the stats about the volleyball team that I still find striking is we've only had one transfer in all of this transfer portal madness. We've only had one transfer. And he hasn't lost anybody, I don't think, to the transfer portal.
No.
The transfer was a transfer in.
Right.
And
I know last week or the week before we did the stat that the volleyball team had a 3.3 GPA,
right.
Which, you know, as a team, I think it was the 8th or 9th time Coach Schunsel has pulled that off. And, you know, you start thinking about longevity and what it's like, you know, well, it's okay this year. It's going to be easy because you're a bookworm and you're this. But what's it going to be like 4 years from now when none of these people are here? And he keeps producing at that level. So it's a lot of fun.
And we've seen a lot of the athletes turn over now in 3 years. So it's funny, this time next year, it will be our beginning of our 5th year. And it's like we've gone through one whole class from freshman to senior.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can't say enough about the athletes that we've had on from every sport. The girls' golf team was phenomenal. Dexter Williams blew me away as an interview. I mean, for a 22-year-old kid that spent a lot of time in Indiana and then went to my other alma mater, Georgia Southern, and then came here. He said, oh, yeah, and I just became a dad 2 weeks ago. But he carried himself so well. And Josiah Chenault, phenomenal interview.
That's the one that showed up married the next time he showed up.
Yeah, with Vanessa, yeah. So just... It says a lot about the character of the coaches and who they're recruiting. I mean, we're not a Power 4 school. We're Conference USA, which is not a bad thing. It's a lot different than we were 2 years ago. But, man, the coaches, I hope they're going to stick around. I hate to see what happened to Coach Amir. Wound up going to South Florida and then obviously passing away. But, man, if we could get coaches to stay here, if we just had that extra $2 or $3 million to keep them staying at KSU, this place can really become something special.
I think Garrett and Will are going to help fund that.
Well, we constantly are trying to grow the engagement, as I call it. And we do that in our own way, like through tailgates. Sure. I mean, we host what I think is very special. But I mean, when you have 100 people show up to a tailgate on a every game basis, something's going on there. And what we need is those people that are, as they start to age through life and start making more money, they need to start donating more money.
Sure. And you know what you're talking about with what you guys are able to do with Mr. Chenault at the Black Tailgate in Dustin. Yes. Make sure all 4 of you get a lot of credit on this. It's not just the 100 people that you expect. it's the 6 people you didn't expect.
Right.
You know, the 2 groups of 3 who wandered up not knowing, and you know, you met them with a smile. You gave them some barbecue or some cooked chicken, and you know, for against whoever the opponent is that week. You know, it's fun stuff. It's fun stuff what you guys are able to do.
Another thing, mentioning coming to tailgate, Garrett's kids were always there. And what tickled me to death, I was at Publix last week, and there was a kid with a KSU shirt on. And I asked his mom, I said, "Oh, what's your affiliation with KSU?" She said, "None, he just loves Kennesaw State." And I said, that's Garrett's kids. I mean, that's what KSU needs to become the next Georgia. I mean, we're bigger than Georgia now from a student capacity. And the more kids of that generation that become KSU fans, it'll make it grow, and it'll make it more impressive to walk around town and seeing thousands of kids, not 3, wearing KSU jerseys.
Yeah, because if you go back to 2013, which is when I graduated, people just didn't wear the Kennesaw logo that often.
No.
And we're seeing that change now.
And when you did, it was somebody who definitely graduated. It wasn't a person by chance. But, you know, as you guys are talking about it, 12 years ago, they didn't sell shirts at Walmart and Walgreens and CVS. And now you can find, you know, clothing anywhere.
Speaking of that, I do want to share this on the show. I was out shopping. Garrett and I.
It's your show. You share whatever you want to.
Garrett and I, and along with Tom Chenal, did a little preseason tailgate thing at my church where we cooked for 50 guys. But while I was shopping for groceries, I was at Costco, and they are now selling tickets at Costco. So the Costco in Woodstock, you can go buy 2 tickets for and a parking pass. For $50. And
To any game.
To any game. Yeah, that includes the conference games. So.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
You know, if you're looking for a reason on why should I come here or when should I do it, go by to Costco, buy a 2-game package, and pick your game.
So is it the school that got that deal,
Yes,
or Van Wagner that went and got that deal?
I don't know. That's I'd have
Well,
to
come on,
ask.
it's your show. You're supposed to know this.
Well, I didn't do
Would you
that
like me
much
to call-
research.
I'll call Sean right now, and I'll find out.
We'll talk to Sean and
We'll
ask
talk to
him.
Sean at the break and figure it out.
At the break.
There you go. See, I got a picture of the
I saw
That's
that.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But now you can go into Academy, you can go into Walmart right here down the road, you can go into Costco. Sam's is
Even
always
Publix has Al shirts hanging in the
yeah,
front.
and it's a change in the atmosphere, which is phenomenal.
No Academy.
Have they gotten rid of that?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, we're gonna have to have a talk with Academy.
But anyway.
They're going to figure it out when everybody's shopping at every store but theirs. So.
Right. So I heard you talking a lot about athletes. So in between athletes, coaches, or your favorite moment, what do you think? Which one of those defines the spirit of Kennesaw State University and Kennesaw State athletics? Either a moment,
You
a
wanna go
coach,
first, or
or
you
a
want me to
player.
I'll follow you.
That's a hard act to follow.
To me,
Yes.
was when we went to Greensboro.
Oh boy.
Oh, yes, for
Never
March
forget
Madness.
that when
Yep.
we walked in and everybody was saying, "Where's Kennesaw State? Where's Kennesaw State?" And we tell them, and we got into there, and we had 2 sections there, and about 200 people, KSU people.
Oh, yeah.
And we're singing the war chant.
The
And
whole game.
The whole game. And by the end of the game, very, very competitive ball game. By the end of the game, out of the 30,000 people that were in the stands, 28,000 of them were singing the war chant with us. And I said, we have made it because we gained so much exposure from that game, even though we lost to Xavier. We should have won, but we lost. That I was just blown away. I said,
Yeah.
I can't. If that was on TV, if we were on TV like playing basketball once a week or so, that war chant would
Right.
create a whole new atmosphere. I think athletes would come here just for that. I mean, just for the excitement that brings into it. Not only there, but even in the Convo Center. I ran into a Liberty coach up at the track meet when I went up in Murfreesboro. He said, "We don't want to come to the Convo." He said that war chant is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's much louder indoors.
yeah, that was the defining moment for me. I said, wow. Because we'd been doing the show maybe 6 months at that time.
Right.
And I said, wow, this has really got a chance to be something. So.
just so many different things. Whether it was beating Liberty in football, no matter how many times people stormed the field, or the back-to-back Liberty basketball games to allow the team to go to Greensboro. You just see the bonding of total strangers, and that's what really makes for a team. Where we don't agree on anything else, but on Thursday afternoon or Saturday night, we all have a common objective, and it's to make sure we're as loud as we can be. And I would say one of my favorite things is definitely listening to the two of you scream things at games, because you have all of your standard lines, and it's like I don't know these. Once again, I figured I'd know all this stuff by now. It's like who's ball? There's just so many different things, and it's a blast. It's a blast to be around people who are truly enjoying the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to get to it. There's several things we're trying to get started as far as just that happen. I don't know what you call their regular occurrences. Traditions. That's the word I was looking for. I'm glad he's here. He's my thesaurus tonight.
Right hand man.
I can't say thesaurus, but
thesaurus?
That's what he is. But trying to get those traditions started. We've got a really strange, what I think is a strange one, but I enjoy it. At football games, is when we win, we eat grilled donuts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had a grilled donut.
Victory donuts.
Victory donuts. They are delicious.
And so you always buy donuts before the game?
Yes.
And then you just have them hidden?
Yes.
And when you win, somebody pulls them out of Garrett's back seat?
And they're always Krispy Kreme.
The Krispy Kreme.
Nothing wrong with that.
And they're put on a Blackstone and warmed up, and they are fantastic.
Caramelized Krispy
if,
Kreme.
if we don't win, they're donated, because we do not eat them.
You don't.
It's bad luck to eat them if you don't win.
Okay.
So-
And that is a true tradition.
Yes.
I would have a hard time with that. I'd be like, well, I've left the park. Maybe I should go ahead and have one of these.
No, we got to get rid of them before we leave.
I think they've coined a new phrase for us.
We are now engagement ambassadors. Like Carrick is the mayor of Owltown. I think we should declare the four of us as the engagement ambassadors.
How about the five of us? Let's get Larry involved here.
You weren't
I'm glad you said Larry.
you weren't part of the four. I think he was talking about the black tailgate lot.
Oh, okay.
So you were
Larry's Wait, Larry's
I thought
only
you knew us
welcome.
four, but you're talking about you and
No,
Dustin,
there's
yeah.
one condition. I think Larry knows
Oh,
what it is. What is it,
pick
Larry?
me, pick me.
I need to bring some etouffee.
That's it. The windows.
And speaking of all this food, I had one other moment pop up.
What's that?
That still means so much to me. And I'll say one word and you'll know what it is.
Oh boy.
Soup.
Soup. The player, what team was she from?
Florida Gulf Coast. I
Florida
think.
Gulf Coast. Oh my gosh.
There was a girl whose
Last name was Campbell.
Oh,
and every
yes.
time she got the ball, we yell, give it to Soup.
Give it to Soup.
And eventually she got it.
Yes.
Yeah. And she looked up. She smiled.
Well, the whole team kind of figured out what was going on.
They're like, you better smile at these idiots, or they're going to keep going.
And just as a follow-up to something else, that when you go to games and you don't have these types of meetings with players or fans outside of the normal avenues, you see somebody like Chuck Stone.
We got a little ringing going
Our
on.
producer
in our
got
head.
up for a second.
You
and
see
everything
somebody,
went-
you
everything
see
went
somebody
bad.
like Chuck Stone during the game, and I'm yelling for him or yelling whatever. But then when he comes on the show and you meet him,
Yeah.
and then and you see this is a kid who is dominated his high school, came up here and plugging away every single practice. And then whenever he's able to come here and just being as benevolent as he is, and it's fun getting to meet people like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Chuck is really one of those guys that understands his role. He's not going to be a starter every week, and he's going to enjoy the time he gets on the court.
Yep.
But he's also going to give his best in practice to make the team better, and he understands that. And
I've seen him at practice. It's exactly what you said.
He's a player coach. And Chuck, that's what he wants to do when he gets out. He wants to coach.
He's going into
awesome.
coaching, yes. Absolutely. Well, I think we're going to take another break here and let our producer do a Brain Train commercial, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, memory, or other mood issues? Or maybe you just want to achieve more in pressure situations. Well, what if I told you you can unlock your brain's full potential and change your life entirely through neurofeedback, a drug-free and natural approach to negative moods, and it's backed by more than 50 years of research, so it's not new. It is safe for both children and adults as you retrain the brain to create new pathways. Medication may help short-term, but they don't address the underlying issues. Just as push-ups help your physical strength, neurofeedback is personal training for your brain. With over 20 offices nationwide, don't hesitate to reach out to Brain Train Centers, as we will provide you with the highest level of compassionate care and help you achieve the mental clarity, performance, and calm you deserve. Your journey to a better quality of life starts with a brain map. Now you can retrain your brain and reset your life. So just call or text 470-291-2778 or visit BrainTrainCentersInc.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks, Brain Train, for your support. As we're sitting here, I was just kind of thinking about something. It's been a rough week at work this week, and I'm a little hungry. And what normally happens on these shows is Miller's is so gracious to host us here, and they provide a meal for the host.
They do?
I thought they did because Chuck and Robert always eat free every week. They asked us to host today.
You gotta host the early show too.
Look at Larry got our back.
Larry's got our back. That doesn't happen very often, in public at least.
Oh,
So-
they plan that. They plan that. They want us to ask that question just so Larry can step in and be the hero for the night.
Thanks, Larry.
Well done. Yeah,
Thank you for letting everybody think we're that smart.
Yeah. Right. Shrimp etouffee. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll be good if he ever shows up with it.
Oh, yeah. Well, the last thing he showed up with was pretty good, so I'm not going to complain. Anyway, moving on.
All right, so one of the things I want to know is in the last few years since you've been closely following Kennesaw athletics, what one loss would you like to erase? Either erase it completely or change it to a win. Which one would make the biggest impact? And which sport?
I would say the baseball team at LSU.
When they lost in the Super Regionals?
and when they lost by like 17 runs.
But no, they had a 9-2 lead in that game or something. I can remember what a buddy of mine texted me.
And we ran out of pitching.
And we ran out of pitching. And once again, it's difficult when you start going against the behemoths of Division 1A, regardless of what sport you're talking about. And I had a buddy, I think Wade texted me, and he's like, dude, we're beating them. I'm like, really? And then, you're just watching and oh, no. Oh, no. So I wish that one could have changed a little bit because the whole idea for the show and the university is to get the name out there. Man, if this team could have made Omaha or something like that, wow.
Yeah, if we had beat LSU in the opening round, we'd have made the news for sure.
Correct.
Now I'm reminded of some pain that I used to have. Now it's back.
Anxiety is back.
Thanks.
Forgot
about that one.
What about you, Chuck?
I hate to lose any game that you should win.
Yes.
Those are the things that pain me most. And I'll never forget the three of us sitting up in Murfreesboro watching that sad excuse of a football game when we had the opportunity to beat MTSU. Kennesaw State had more fans in the stands than MTSU is if you take out their band.
Right.
Because their band was like twice as big as the number of fans we had. But it was cold. We lost 15-2 or something like that.
There was no points in that
And
game.
it was about 2 degrees.
I lost about 4 toes, yeah.
But that was a game we should have won. We had no
Absolutely.
business going up there and losing that game. And those are the things that kind of stick with me. I can take getting beat by a team that's better than me. I can't take getting beat by a team that's nowhere near as good as we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like us beating Liberty. Yeah. I mean, that was a major, major upset.
Yes, it was.
And it put him out for the season.
Yep.
They couldn't recover after that.
They lost. Yeah, they lost the next week to Jack State, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They just couldn't
Yeah,
recover.
correct. They hadn't lost.
They were
since-
undefeated.
They were undefeated the year before, lost to Oregon in a game that was, and then was running the table yet again. And then once we beat them, they just spiraled out of control.
I think it was me crying on the field after we stormed the
It
field.
was probably something you yelled at them.
I don't think I yelled anything at them.
I'm sure you did.
I was too shocked that we were out there on the field.
Storming the field number 1 or storming the field number 2?
Well, that was 2 times in one day. I've been on the field twice after a game.
Yeah.
So in 2017, when we won the conference championship for the first time, it was like a slow parade onto the field.
Right.
And I mean, it was just like
Everyone was afraid.
everyone was afraid because we'd never done it before.
And we didn't want to get fined.
And we didn't want to get in trouble, so we just kind of stepped over the railing and started walking, and nobody said anything. So
Nobody's
we
afraid.
just kind of kept walking.
So speaking of Liberty,
Oh, boy.
and my favorite group. So who do you think is the biggest rival? Not because of what happens on the field, but what happens off the field.
Geographically, I would have to say because of that, and I realize that's not off the field, but I'd like to say that at some point in time that answer will be Georgia State or Mercer or something a little bit closer. But I think it's Jack State. I think there could be a rivalry there with MTSU, but right now it's Jack State. We've as you guys could school me on, these two have been playing head to head for a long time, moving up with each other. So there is a little bit of history there.
Right. And ever since they moved up, we haven't been able to beat them in football.
Jack State.
Yes.
And we were winning at halftime.
Yeah.
The first year they had moved up.
Was the last time we beat them at SunTrust Park?
Last time we beat them is when we
And
were
yes.
7 overtimes.
before Conference USA.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was at SunTrust Park,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, and they entered before us, so they had a year advantage. And then this year, though, come on, Mac. Come on, Mac. Show
I
me.
still have high
It's
hopes.
time for the Mac attack.
I still have high hopes for our Barnyard Brawl.
Yes.
I'm still not
I
dying
haven't
on
forgotten about that, and I really, really want to make something with that. I just don't know how to
So
do
we're
it yet.
playing at Jacksonville State this year.
Right.
So if somebody wants to sponsor a big poster to go on the side of a trailer, we can get your name on the trailer too. We can make it the Barnyard Brawl.
that. Talk to Larry over there. He's the sign man.
He's the sign man.
He's the everything man.
I was going to say, he does
Because I can tell you right now that
He
there
came
will-
up with this good-looking bobblehead.
That's a handsome-looking dude.
I've got the bad view here.
Hey, that's my butt.
Only on certain weeks.
That's true. That's true.
That's his butt only
All
on
right.
certain weeks.
So which one do you think?
I think the exact same way Robert did. I
Jacksonville.
heard a couple of the coaches say how cool it would be to have that relationship with Georgia State being 20 miles away.
Yeah.
I think eventually, maybe not in my lifetime, that could be the main rivalry. But right now, it's got to be Jacksonville State. I love beating Liberty, like Garrett said, but geographically and from an angst position, I would have to go with Jacksonville State.
And Liberty has all of the intangibles that we hope to have as a college or a university with the money that they have. So we really don't have a lot in common, truly, with
in their
them.
private school.
In their private school. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you want me to ask the follow-up question?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
I'm curious because obviously Conference USA is changing again. Out of all the teams that we've played in the past, which athletic department overall do you respect? Even though you would never admit it on your show, which team do you respect the most? And why? Tell me why.
I can only say MTSU because I've been to an event at their location.
Okay.
And it was handled very, very well. I thought everything at the Conference USA track meet was handled impeccably. Everything was from getting in to parking, everything. It seemed like they had everything going for them. And MTSU's been around a long time. So I would, and not just because my son went there.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Like
it
I said,
was.
it's the
We all
only-
knew that was the
It's the
answer.
only one I visited. So I have been to Jacksonville State, but it was not for a KSU event. My good friend Steve Pearson went to Murray State, and when Ja Morant was still at Murray State, he called me one day and said, if you'll go with me to Jackson State to watch Ja play, I'll buy you a ticket. So we went over there and we sat in a gym that is a lot smaller than ours, or it appears to be a lot smaller than ours to what a basketball
He
game.
took you to Murray County, not Murray State.
No, he took us to Jacksonville State.
He took you to the woods in South Alabama.
He took me to Jacksonville State. He's from Murray State.
Where are you going?
So,
We're going
yeah.
to L.A. Not the right one.
Not the right.
So yeah, very, very small gym compared to what we have. I
Yeah.
thought, yeah. So those are the only two I've really visited. I think, if I have to think harder,
Robert's ready.
I don't have a reason. I don't like any of the teams that we play against. That's I asked.
I didn't say if you like him. I just said which one do you respect.
Correct. And as I've used you before, Garrett, as my religious offering, am I allowed to hate a Christian school? Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Just trying to cover bases. The one thing I would say while doing research for different sports and watching different things is how good of all of the programs Western Kentucky has. You look at Western Kentucky and it's like, well, what's their baseball record? They're always good. what's their football? They're always good.
They're the one with the good volleyball program, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. They have a volleyball program. So it's all of the different sports where you get to see them, and a lot of things when you're at our level are hit or miss with your different programs, but they kind of seem like they're hitting on all cylinders.
They don't have the best barbecue, though.
No.
Well, and there's still the red blobs. I didn't say we like them.
But they may not have the best barbecue, but I will tell you that community has
Absolutely.
sold out for that university at every location. Everything is Red Blob special, this special.
And they all
have team stuff all over the walls up to date for that current year.
And they all build Corvettes. That's the only job.
Yeah, and they have the Corvette Museum.
And they
which
have
is
a
kinda
Corvette
cool.
Museum. So because we traveled up there for the game last year, and every restaurant we went into was they had something dedicated to the university there. The community was sold out for their school.
Well, and it's the same thing that you guys were talking about trying to do with your tailgate and having traditions and how you whether you're screaming something at a baseball or a football game and how you'd like that. There's a place where it's been a tradition for so long. So, hopefully it won't be long before Miller's Ale House and a few other places on this road start coming up with their, I guess it's kind of, what's that? It's an owl sandwich. Oh my God, that sounds horrific and against the law. No, it's not that kind of owl.
We'll just have to call it the Scrappy Special.
Scrappy Special.
I think they're onto something here which will develop, and I think if other restaurants are watching, they're going to learn.
I almost thought I'm going to have a bowel of soup.
Oh no!
Are we back on number 2 again?
He is. We got to get
on to number 2.
We've got to move on.
All right, transition again.
All right.
Let's do the last commercial.
Last commercial.
Oh, good timing, Larry. Good timing. There are a lot of places to get your oil changed in the Kennesaw area, but if you're looking for a personal experience, then stop in at Castro Kennesaw Express Lube or Lost Mountain Express Lube. We'll always do our best to get you in and out quickly, safely, and without a whole lot of fuss. We're a true owner-operated business where you'll find Brian under a car or hood at one of the shops. We offer experienced, knowledgeable technicians and the latest computer software to help you maintain your new car warranty and keep your pride and joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer
Castrol products.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I don't think we've ever had 5 people say it at the same time. That was beautiful. You're clearly going to be on a PBS special soon, reading things. I don't know what it'll be, but you're right there.
They'll use my voice for AI one of these days. Anyway.
All right. So we've had Milton on the show.
Yep.
Our athletic director. If something were to happen and we were to make you athletic director for a day, what's the first change you would make?
Interesting. I would say, one of the things that I always thought of when you add, what will be the next sport at KSU? And, I used to think I had that one pretty much pegged, and it would be men's lacrosse or men's soccer, because we already have a women's team for both things. So it's kind of already set up for it. But because of the way
Title IX.
Title IX works, thank you. You guys are great hosts.
We're working on it.
Because of that, it sounds like the next thing might be a women's bowling team. So not not the most exciting thing in the world. But I think just
I bet if we were to attend a women's
oh my
bowling,
God, we would have a blast, and you would be screaming all sorts of things. We might get banned from that bowling alley.
Things are not exciting until you hit 290 and it's the last frame, or 260 in the last. frame.
Yeah, I was gonna say 260.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
we'll learn.
But no,
you cannot yell something at women about throwing the ball hard. It will not work.
Or keep your mind out of the gutter. Yeah.
Well, that's that way. We would invite you for that.
All
one.
right, you two, moving on. Let's go. We're running out of time here.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
What's your next question?
No, he hasn't answered
Oh,
yet.
you got to answer for
You're not
your
letting it
athletic
get away
director.
that easy, are you?
I would make some personnel changes and marketing changes.
Is he talking about us?
No. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yes, well,
I'm going to cut off his mic if he doesn't wise up real quick.
All right.
It has something to do
No,
with.
no, it really doesn't. It really doesn't.
I told you not to ask that question.
You guys about it all the time. You know my frustration.
Anyway.
we love you, Milton.
Has nothing to do with Milton.
No, it does
No,
not.
it didn't.
No, but I still felt obliged to say that.
No, absolutely.
I said
And by the way,
that was a
speaking,
tough question.
Speaking of Milton, have you seen Milton lately?
Looking good.
He's
Lost weight.
lost weight.
Yeah.
And you know, he kind of came to me because after I lost my 100 pounds, he kept coming to me going, "How did you do this?" And I kind of kept telling him, he's like, I don't know about all that. I don't know about that eating less. But whatever he did, I don't know what he's done, but whatever he's done is looking good on him. It could be that he got it remarried, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then
To Lisa?
he started losing weight.
Changed the name from Milton to Wilton.
All right.
I think you better think about having this guy back on the show again.
Yeah. I told you, you're safe. Not so much.
Braves require somebody. Huh.
So, one of the things I've noticed about the show that you do, this show in particular, the guests, you talk about family environment, things along those lines. The guests seem to be pretty transparent the majority of the time. But if you could remove their transparency filter 100% and get the raw truth out of them, no matter what question you asked, what prior guest would you have on the show, past or present? Yeah, I told you, we're just warming up to the hard ones.
I would say Coco, volleyball player, Coco Brown. So between Coco and the other girls, when they came on and they were all talking about
Reverse Oreo?
there was Reverse Oreo. That was their singing group's name. But they were all talking about Manu. And you could tell there was all sorts of stories that they were stopping just short on. They were like, oh no, But that was a really fun episode where they said, if you were trapped in a jungle, who would you want? Manu. If you were at the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, who would you want there? Manu. If you were trapped in the middle of a river, well, I would want Manu. It's like, okay, we need Manu too. If Manu checks everybody's box for everything. So yeah, but they're pretty open about all that stuff.
That's kind of how we got LaRue on the show as an eating contest.
Absolutely.
You ask us
Yes, Youngblood.
Who could put down the
Youngblood.
Yes, Chris Youngblood.
who's now trying to make a play for the NBA.
He's playing for the champions right now.
Yeah,
And he is doing good.
He is doing great.
Yeah, that's a better word.
If he does not make their roster, which knowing once again, it's got to be the toughest roster to make. They just
Right.
won the championship,
Right.
and they're the
Youngest.
youngest team.
Right.
So everything. But even if he does not make their roster, I don't see a way he has not played himself onto somebody's team. So kudos to him.
He has worked very hard to get where he is. Yeah.
And that was a great question, because when we asked Chris Youngblood who would be the person that we would want to challenge Will Renfro with, he did not hesitate.
No,
I mean,
he did not.
LaRue came out right out. Cole LaRue, absolutely. That guy eats everything. But, it's just so much fun with that.
Word of advice: don't ever get in an eating contest with a 20-year-old that runs every day.
Right.
I don't care how big or
2.5
small they are.
hours to 3 hours. a day.
And let me follow that up with something, one of my favorite things ever on the show. Mr. Chenault was over here, Josiah, and after he was on the show, he was sitting over on the side, and I ran into him, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, it's my birthday. was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, how old are you? He's 21 years old. He's sitting by himself because he just came through the portal, doesn't know anybody in this town. And I was like, we need to buy him dinner. And I didn't think we at that point. I'm glad Larry stepped up and said, yeah, we can do that. But, as I actually, Marley was his waitress that night. And I said, Marley, it's his 21st birthday. I want to buy his first drink, his dessert, and everything else. And then as I'm walking away, I'm like, you just offered to pay for a 21-year-old who's 6'3" and 305 pounds and whatever he wants to eat. What am I thinking? But the show blinded me for a minute, and it was an okay thing.
And it's a really good thing you're not a donor.
Yes, correct. Correct.
Just had to put that out there.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah, lots of good times.
You still haven't answered my question.
What was the question?
He's forgot the question.
If you could,
If I,
in-depth interview, honest responses, past or present, coach or player, who would you have?
I'd really like to get into Milton's mind,
Right.
and find out what's going on inside there. It's got to be a very difficult position, and I really liked Vaughn before him.
Right.
And I got to spend some time with Vaughn, even talked to Vaughn about doing a TV show about the KSU football team, kind of like First Take or whatever that they do for the pros. And he was all about it.
By the way, I don't know if you know this. The Service League of Cherokee County, which is like a women's organization that raises money for school children, they used to do this thing where they had like a big dinner and an event, and they for several years raising money. They were doing like a Dancing with the Stars thing.
Yeah.
And they were getting celebrities from the local area. Vaughn got on that and danced on that show.
Much
and did a
Ministry
great
does
job.
something like that. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine that's won that. But somebody else I really would get to, because now she's married. I think she's a mom. Is Lauren Chastain. Lauren,
She was great.
and the coolest thing we did with Lauren was we called her volleyball high school coach.
Live on the show.
And had her call live in on the show to talk to Lauren. And those are the kind of things that, keep me coming back. I love hearing these kids' stories and where they've been and where they're going or where they want to go is everything to me. I mean, it keeps me young.
Right.
I mean, my relationship with Callie is pretty cool. I mean, we're texting when she's in Germany.
Right.
That's a good luck and all that stuff. And I just appreciate the time that they give to us and the coaches that encourage them to give to us, because we're here for them. They're not there for us. We're here for them.
I think you said something really important there that a lot of us forget, especially, you look at social media about Milton during times throughout the history that he's been here. It really does have to be tough to be in that position, to know what you know on a continuous basis and to only be able to give so much of it out at any given time.
Sure.
And everything falls on you. The entire program, the athletics program, falls on you. It's got to be an enormous amount of pressure, and the contract is year to year. I mean, who wants to be in a place where your contract is year to year?
Well, you just asked us if we wanted to earlier. I would do that job. I would love that job.
Yeah.
You remember George Olney?
Yes.
I would have loved to have been George's assistant or whatever. George, he had so much passion for the school, just like you guys do. He loved the school, and he would do anything for it. And he's the reason I started kind of paying attention again when he and I became friends at Marietta Business Association. So I've had loose ties to KSU for a long time, but nothing like what it's been the last 30 years.
Yeah, I think that the athletic department, well, there's a lot of departments at Kennesaw that have the same problem, is if you look at the size of the athletic department that Kennesaw has relative to the number of students, we have a tenth the size of the athletic department that Georgia has. Now, obviously at Georgia and Georgia Tech, they're doing more, like they've got more fans at the stadium, they've got more things going on. But
bigger high-profile high school athletes.
Yes, but we still have to do the same. We still have to arrange schedules for all the programs. We still have to arrange all the marketing. We still have to do all the relationships with Adidas to get our uniforms and things like that. And they have to do that with the size department they have. And I just keep hoping that we'll get more donors, we'll get more people involved, get more people engaged, as I like to say. so that we can kind of grow the department and get on that same scale.
Well, that's the purpose of your show, right? To help bring more dollars in the KSU?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
That's
Of our
why
shit.
we're
Are-
here.
Are they quitting? Have they not told us that this is just a trial interview and they're just moving on?
I hope not, because we
I
may
hope
have
not either.
failed.
Larry, put Garrett's picture in there quick.
My butt's a lot bigger than that. But anyway,
So's mine.
you want to ask this one or
Which one?
I think you should ask the last one.
The last
But no,
one.
let me ask the other one before we have a couple
Okay,
more minutes.
there you go.
So, what's one thing you wish non-fans understood about Kennesaw State, and one thing fans need to hear more often?
The war chant is what they need to hear more often.
Okay.
And they need to know the passion of the fans that are the true passionate fans, like you guys, and the Vickers, and the Kirks, and everybody that comes to all the ball games, and Brandon. I mean, all these guys that support the sports. If they would spend some time with you guys, it would draw them in. I mean, that's just my opinion, but iron sharpens iron, you know. And you guys are the class of the group, and just being a part of it, it's an honor for me. So.
Yeah, the class of the group. After that line, you're going to have to repeat the question because I completely forgot what you asked.
What do fans need to hear more often, or people need to hear more often?
You touched on it earlier with, we need more donations.
Yeah.
When you go from a small school that's only had a football program for 10 years, and you're trying to go to the big leagues and do everything that we're doing. We have a stadium that holds how many seats?
8,800
Yeah.
8,800
with standing room. Yeah.
It's only 1,200 less than Buford.
There you go, and that's really where it starts coming in. I know when we moved up to Division 1A, you're supposed to have at least a 30,000 seat stadium or something.
I thought it was 15.
It's 15.
They dropped that rule, by the way.
Okay,
It's
okay,
15,000.
but so we need a stadium that holds 7,000 more seats, but we don't sell out what we have.
Right.
So putting the importance of, hey, I know you kind of like this idea of this school, around the corner from you, but you're going to have to get engaged to help push them to that next level.
Right.
Yeah, we talked about that, especially with the Western Carolina thing about the locals, but we also saw it in East Tennessee when we went up there for a very painful loss.
Very first football game.
But it was a great. Was what?
The very first KSU football
No, not the first game. The playoff game that we lost up
the
there.
playoff game.
As we're driving from Johnson City, from Limestone to Johnson City, we were noticing that they had like I don't know what they're called, but like the real estate signs in the yard.
Correct.
They're the election signs, but they
Yes.
were all like supporting the school. I don't know who had handed these out or how they got in the community, but in the community, a lot of the yards had these little things in the
Almost
yard.
every other house. At some
Yeah,
places,
it was really impressive. It was kind of cool that there were so many of them. You're driving through the countryside because we had made a stop at my family's farm up there, and so that's why it's the back roads. But I was like, all these people have these signs in the yard supporting the school in the playoff game that's going on tonight.
And as awesome as that is, there's a lot of when you get to a smaller city,
right.
it's easier to get behind the only thing you've got going.
We are a suburb of Atlanta.
We are a suburb of Atlanta. The Braves play in the same county. The Hawks, the Falcons, a couple other rather large universities in the area, unlike East Tennessee. So it's going to take a long time, but it is going to have to start with things like that, where there's signs coming up and down the road and different things to get people thinking about it.
Right.
All right,
I've changed one of my answer. I'd hire myself as the marketing guy. That's what I would do if I was there.
There you go. All right, so there is a tradition on this show, and we don't want to break tradition just because we're hosting.
I already know this one.
You should know the answer to it too.
No.
Who's the most famous person in your phone?
Well, he's got a lot of different people. He books all these things.
We only have 60 seconds, so
Go ahead and let him have it, Chuck. Let me think about who might be in my phone.
And wait a minute, there's a second. Who's the most famous person the answer that we've had throughout the 3 years to that question?
There's a lot of good answers to that
So we need
one.
those two answers.
I think Dabo Sweeney is probably the one we've had most often. 3 or 4 people have said Dabo Sweeney. My favorite one was, I can't remember who else he said. He said Dion last week, and then he said somebody else after Dion. I couldn't remember who it was.
Well, Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Coach Bohannon.
Coach Bohannon.
Yeah, I wanted to call Jerry Rice right then. But I would have to say it's one of the KSU athletes, Daniel Hall or Travis Bell. or
Okay.
Chris Youngblood. They're all three in my phone. Callie Terza.
Yeah.
They're international athletes. So
Right.
how can they not be?
That's pretty cool.
At one point in time, it might have been somebody else, but right now, that's who they are. Yeah.
It's nice to know I still have a chance. It's a shifting list.
It's a shifting list. All depends on the barometer today. I'm going to go with a musician that I know, Todd Smalley. Todd Smalley is probably the most famous person in my phone. Not that you guys know him clearly, but
Gonna have to look him up.
he's a bass guitarist. He was playing. Do you remember the Derek Trucks band?
Okay. Yeah.
So the was it the Leonard Skinner's drummers, slide guitar. So this kid started playing slide guitar at age 12, and my friend started touring with him at that young age, and met a lot of people, done a lot of things.
I believe we've hit the end of the hour.
Yeah.
So
Have we hit the end of the hour, producer?
Yeah, we're there.
thanks,
Oh, wow.
Larry.
Larry didn't give us a countdown and go, it's time.
Yeah. Well,
He never does.
No, we're very lenient.
I
on
just
Andy.
want to say thanks
Hey,
for
we're
everybody.
very lenient. We got 20 more questions. So
Oh, my
just
goodness.
kidding.
Well, go ahead and tape it.
No.
We'll skip next week.
No, we got to count to 10 after we get off the air before we can ask those questions.
That's
And then
right.
you guys change shirts, and then we'll pretend it's like a different week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just in case someone gets sick or needs a vacation. Got it.
Could be Larry.
Well, thank you very much for being on our show tonight. We appreciate it, gentlemen. It's always
you
a
for the
pleasure having you
invitation.
here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And, if you guys are ever, without anybody else to talk to,
We'll definitely call you.
We'd love to
Don't-
have,
don't
we'd
call
love to have
me,
you
but-
guys on our show sometime too.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Don't call me, I'll call you.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
All right, it's time to sign off, and we will see you next week.
And one more
Join
big.
us. Hootie-hoo!